we starting with?
Start with the Bills game.
The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op.
Hello. Oh, you're not too tired to say something? And welcome to the Trap Nerd Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Duke Clark. To the left of me, two tired boys.
Hey, man.
Didn't go to sleep early enough last night, even though I told them to go to bed. They were upstairs watching TV. They kept the volume low so I couldn't come up and yell at them.
Oh, my God. My eyes been red for 3 weeks.
You got a pink eye?
Nah. They would be gone by now.
No, it wouldn't.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Hey, Ray and Joe. How you guys doing, man?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic.
You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm happy we're doing it this early. I got the rest of my day ahead of me. It's 80 degrees outside.
Why is it so hot?
I love it.
I hate it.
I love it.
I'm ready for fucking nice and cold weather.
No, fuck that.
A couple of hoodies. Oh, man, I want some hot chocolate.
I'm cool if it's a fall day. I'm cool if it's a summer day. I just know that winter's on the horizon.
Thank God.
As the Starks say, winter is coming.
I'll
And that shit
angels.
is garbage.
I'm every day before the pot. Every time before the pot, I'm gonna just do a snow angel.
People who like winter over summer are psychotic.
It's
you
not
like
that.
you like winter over summer?
I mean, I like both for different reasons.
It's just been hot for so long, man. It's time to be cold.
I'm good.
If I had a pool, I would like the summer a lot more, or access to a nice pool, but I don't.
Imagine an indoor pool though. Nice heated
I don't
pool.
like indoor pools at all.
What's the
So
point?
It defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
Of everything.
Yeah, I'll be in there.
All right. Another week of football down the books. Down the drain. I don't know what the fuck you want to call it, but it was a good week.
It was.
It actually wasn't that good of a week. Outside of the
It was a
Bills.
good week for you guys.
Yeah, the football kind of sucked this week, to be completely honest. There wasn't that many good games. But we'll start with the Bills, baby.
You were happy?
Them Dolphins been thinking they've been here for years. Every year they win a couple games and they get super excited.
They wear those shirts.
And I love it because everyone says the Bills say it's their year every year. It's been the Dolphins for the past 3-4 years saying that.
Yeah.
Every time the Dolphins,
every team
does that.
says it's their year.
But
the people that aren't Bills fans think that we're tripping because we're like, yeah, this is our time.
But the
Why
thing
do
is
people say that though. Anyways.
What?
just they assume they're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but like that's corny to me.
I think
Any team that does it.
well, most fans are casual
Fucking year
fans.
until you are there.
Most fans are casual fans and they don't know like most Bills fans can't tell you how good the 49ers are, right? Like so they're thinking, "Oh, we have a decent team. We're going to win the Super Bowl." Like I don't know. That's just my theory on it. But I'm just talking about here because all the Dolphins fans, we know them. Dennis. There's like 5 more of them. My cousin Nick, Keith, all Dolphins fans. Every year they have a couple good games. And a couple years ago it was mid-season. This year it's early season. But every year they're like, "Oh, we're here. We can't be beat." And then Tua gets a concussion or he plays the Bills. It's not your years, buddy. I'm sorry.
He scored 70 went to a lot of people's heads. Even like non-Dolphins fans were like, "Wow, Miami's real good," and I'm like, "Why?"
But I mean, looking back, they let Justin Fields score almost 30, and who's looked awful other than that game.
Miami played the Bears.
No, I'm talking about the Broncos.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to bring that up.
I mean, 70 is impressive.
70 is absolutely impressive, no matter who you play.
Is it though? When Sam Howell scored 37 and Fields scored 30, it's like it makes sense now.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
they're
still
twice as good
70
as those
points.
teams, so they scored twice as many
It's like it was
points.
impressive until you see all the others.
It's only like the second or third time I think it's ever
It's
happened.
definitely impressive. I'm just talking shit.
But I also think that, we were up we got up to 48. Like, we had plenty of time. We could have tried and gone for 60. I mean, I think they easily could have started. The thing is, they tried running out the clock, and Denver just couldn't tackle anyone.
Yeah, it was wild.
So never mind. I was gonna make that point. Denver just fucking sucks. Denver is really
They
bad.
beat the Bears too.
And I'm glad that we still have another year that we can come on here and just fucking slander the Bears or the Broncos. They fucking, we could slander both of them, but they fucking suck.
Russ fucking sucks.
They suck.
Sean Payton ain't it no more. Let's
They
talk
had a
about
nice
it.
come from behind win though.
To the Bears.
To the
Yeah.
Bears, yeah.
Hey man.
They almost came from behind the Commanders too.
Yeah.
But how are they putting themselves in that position?
Their defense is just really bad.
Which does their defense last year was like our defense is holding us in every game. Like I just don't see how you make that big of a switch in 1 year.
Yeah, it's wild. They probably just don't want to play for that team.
That is crazy though, because their defense was like locked down. I forgot about that.
How many games last year was like 13-10?
They were boring. Denver was boring to watch last year. Now they're actually a lot of fun.
Was Vic Fangio their guy last year? Like, how long ago did Vic Fangio leave? Like, who was their DC last year?
I have no idea.
You look at a team like the Rams, who lost over the past 2 years, have lost every single one of their good defensive players except for Donald, and they still have been pretty good defensively this year. Well, like, what? I can't even think of something that makes a team from going top 5 to like the worst. It's not even bottom 5; it's the worst.
The coaches or not caring as much or something.
No, it's karma. Got like fucking Sean Payton was talking shit about Hackett, and God was like, "Look at this."
Yeah.
Because this is more pathetic than last year. At least they were in games last year. I mean, they did win.
They're in games this year too.
Yeah, but they're playing shitty teams. They were like, they played one good team and just got annihilated.
Yeah. They play the Jets this week. I wonder if Zach Wilson can carve them.
I might still go.
Oh
I might
God,
go pick up Zach Wilson and start him, bro.
Did you guys see with the I can't remember what they're called. The people that talk after the show, after the
Rodney Harrison
commentators
shit.
or whatever.
Yeah. Did
What'd
you
he
see
say?
What he said?
Yeah, he was mad. He ended up apologizing, but he was saying like he was trying to get Chris Jones to basically say like it's okay to say Zach Wilson's garbage. He like literally called him garbage and shit like that. And Chris Jones was like,
he's special.
He's a special player. Rodney Harrison was like, he's not a special player at all. Like, what are you talking about? He was like, you're a special player. And Chandler Jones was like, or Chris Jones, you could tell was kind of like, what the fuck? Like, he was trying to, like, be respectful and shit. And Rodney Harrison was trying so hard to make him, like, talk shit.
He was like,
about
bro, he's
Wilson.
fucking garbage.
Yeah.
He didn't say fucking,
It was on the
but he did say he's garbage.
post-game.
I would respect it if he did that any other game other than
I got it right here, man.
that game.
Yeah, he ended up apologizing, though.
Because Zach Wilson looks okay.
Well, that's what Chris Jones was saying. He was like, he played a really Rodney Harrison was like, well, he was special tonight, but he's not special any other time. Pretty much.
I mean, it's a true assessment. You don't got to be an asshole about it. I mean, we're here to be an asshole about it.
He was like trying to get him to like agree with him. It was weird.
Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, we knew it was going to be a battle. He's continuing to get better week in and week out, and he's continuing to lead week in and week out. But watching that tape, man, you got to look at this dude and say, oh, he is garbage. Like, we should really tear him apart earlier. Like I said, Zach Wilson is special, man. You just got to give the guy time. You know what I mean? Wait. Did you say Zach Wilson is special?
Yeah, he was dead
I
ass.
think he had a special night, but I don't think he's special. I've got proof
Yeah.
you're special.
Yeah, that's wild.
He's not special. I'm just saying.
It's funny though because I said like all the other games Zach Wilson played some
That's
top defensive
crazy.
lines, and obviously he sucks under pressure. But if you give Zach Wilson time, he's had decent games like this. Kansas City couldn't get to him the way Buffalo, New England, and Dallas could.
We've been jumping around a bit, but yeah, he looked good. I mean, he did miss 2 throws that probably would have won them the game. That Garrett Wilson, like down the sideline, and then you guys said the Conklin throw wasn't that bad. I personally think it was because it didn't need. If it needed to be there, sure. But when he was basically open, he had like 2 steps on his defender. If he hits Conklin in the
Was it
chest,
also like kind of on the run though, on that one?
yeah, it was like I don't know if it was like a wheel route or what, but he was coming up the sideline and he
So
got
I felt like
open.
it was like a good enough throw, like with how Wilson was like running. That Conklin's got to get down there and make a play.
Oh, you're talking about Zach Wilson. I thought you were talking about the Garrett Wilson throw.
No, the Garrett Wilson one was way like he
Oh
was
yeah,
running,
yeah.
so
The
there was
Conklin.
no excuse to miss Garrett Wilson there.
Yeah.
he had time, and the one with Conklin I thought was a little bit tougher, and Conklin should have just caught it.
That's true, but I also think it's kind of a throw that you need to make. I mean, you have to be able to make throws on the run now.
Well, that's what I mean, but he still kind of did. Like, he
Yeah.
gave him a chance to make a play, and he couldn't. Like, the Garrett Wilson one, Garrett Wilson made a hell of an effort and, like, still couldn't catch it.
Yeah, it's still
Conklin
hard to
still
get
had both hands on the ball. Just couldn't bring it in because he sucks.
That's true, man.
Who sucks?
Conklin.
Pat Mahomes sucks.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. Pat Mahomes still the best quarterback in the league, but he's looked a lot. This is the most inconsistent we've seen him play probably so far through all of his career.
I don't think we can like talk bad about him though.
Oh no,
They got a new offensive coordinator. Nah, seriously though, and I think when these dudes are learning the new playbooks and stuff, like it takes a little bit of time, even if you are Pat Mahomes or whoever, Brady, it doesn't matter. I think learning
He better
new plays.
get it together fast.
That I'm saying. I'm not saying they don't need to do that, but
He played one good defense and lost. Kelsey was out. I don't know. I don't like the way Mahomes has looked. I feel like he's running around every play, trying to hit a home run every single play, not checking down as much. I don't know what it is. I'd have to really go back and watch all the replays, but
what I would say it probably is, like, people love to dunk on fucking Juju, but like obviously Juju's not a wide receiver one, but he's good in those lower to intermediate routes. So it's like if they were covering Kelsey, he had Juju who can at least get open. I mean, he can't get open this year. I don't know what the fuck's happening, but
he was even catch a ball.
Yeah, he does suck this year. But I mean,
Well,
last year he put
sucks.
up almost 1,000 yards. But the rest of these guys like can't get open.
yeah,
But I mean, like, I don't know why Tony can't get open. I don't know why.
or catch the ball.
Yeah, I don't. He's always had problems with drops, but like, I just don't. There's no one on that team that can get open.
I didn't like Sky Moore, but he's like worse than I thought he was. Like he doesn't do anything.
They just
Why
have a bunch
doesn't-
of gadget guys who, when they get the ball, are pretty athletic and can do stuff, but they are never open. So they have to, like, the only way Sky Moore's getting the ball is if they're doing that weird, like, fucking motion out to the flat thing. And, like, they have to, like, call these gadget plays just for these guys to get the ball because they cannot get open. Rashee Rice has looked good at times, but he's, like, too young. He's not going to be great off the jump. So it's like you take Kelsey out of the game, and then Kelsey hasn't even played. But did he miss one game?
One game.
And he does, like, and you're fucked when he doesn't play. So
Yeah, I'm not panicking on them. I think they'll score like 40 versus Minnesota this Sunday. But it's definitely weird to see that Mahomes look human consistently. Like we've seen him struggle against like a really good defense or like against Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, but you don't see him consistently not put up big numbers. Like week 2 versus Jacksonville, and then last week versus the Jets. And those aren't horrible defenses, but like C.J. Stroud carved Jacksonville shit.
yeah.
So
Also Stroud.
definitely, I mean, the offensive coordinator is definitely a big thing. The receivers are dropping the ball. I know my cousin was showing me Juwan Taylor like gets called for like all types of ridiculous flags that other offensive linemen don't get called for, and maybe they're starting with a lot of 1st and 20,
That's the dude
1st and 15.
they signed over Orlando Brown.
Yeah,
He had a good year last year, but I don't want to hear he gets called for what offensive linemen don't, because he was holding for a huge portion of that
no,
game.
you gotta see. I'm not gonna pull him up like on the air, but he actually, because I was saying the same shit as you, like, come on, bro, like stop, and he was showing me like a bunch of different shit, and like even like Andy Reid and Mahomes talked about it in post game, which Andy Reid ain't the type of dude to just come out there and single out something like that. He was basically saying like he don't know what it is, but they're after the Chiefs or Juwan Taylor or something. And then you see a lot of like Lane Johnson, these guys start early. I actually was watching it consistently versus Tampa Bay on Monday night last week. They don't call that shit.
Well, I think it might have something to do that the entire first game that he was lining up like illegally or like borderline illegally, like the entire first
Yeah,
game.
and they
he's
weren't
all the way
calling
back.
it much that game.
And so they
that was my
probably-
defense, but then he was showing me all types of shit. Like I said, maybe it's a coincidence, but it definitely was weird. That was the
Yeah,
most flags called on him that any one offensive lineman had called on him in like however many years. It was kind of wild.
maybe they're picking on him. They're definitely not picking on the Chiefs because, to be honest, I think that an interference call wasn't as bad as everyone was making it out to seem. Like there was definitely a lot of contact. The guy wasn't turning for the ball when he was making the contact originally.
I think it was the Sauce defensive hold that people were mad about.
But you're talking about the interception, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Sauce broke it down on Twitter why it just wasn't a flag, and I agree with him.
Yeah, but it's like a bang. It's like a bang thing. I think what the ref's got to be better. But in my
The
like
ref
just
got to throw the flag. He waits till the ball
Till the intercepted, yeah.
to reach for his flag, and I think that's where he could have done a better job of
Right.
just grabbing the
Just
flag
throw this
immediately.
shit.
But somebody on Twitter had a good point. He's like, maybe he was watching the rest of the play to make sure he didn't miss anything, grabbing his flag or something. I was like, all right, I can respect that. So he waited till like the play was over, and then he pulled his flag out and made his call.
yeah. And then there's the last. I think it was the Mahomes, the last run where he slides down. This guy on Twitter, like the left tackle, was just fucking hugging
Oh, was
the
it?
Jets player. I mean, so Juwan Taylor for some reason is like the only one they care, like they pick on. I
they
mean,
didn't
like
call it
the
on this
Chiefs
guy
are
getting a holding call.
They're mad at him for.
the Chiefs
getting
are
rid of
starting to
Orlando
be
Brown.
like the
Yeah, I don't
Patriots,
know.
where they're getting like some crazy calls. Like anything that's even a little bit in their favor, they're getting
I think
calls.
you guys are right near the Chiefs in getting calls.
You think so?
I'm pretty sure it's like 4 and 5. Jacksonville and the Jets were 1 and 2 by far, I believe. Because my cousin also posted that.
Like
and somebody was
most-
talking shit about the Chiefs.
Most flagged.
Most calls in your favor.
The
Who's,
Jets.
who's number 1 and 2?
It was like the Jets and the Jags.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Do you think we get calls?
I don't know. I would have to because I'm watching so many games at once. I'm not really paying attention as much to see like, oh, that's a horrible call or that's a a missed call. I'm just kind of looking at every screen trying to see what players are doing different things.
The Jets game, there was definitely like one or two where I was like, okay, that probably went in our favor and it shouldn't have. But like since then, I
But
haven't.
you also played the Jets, who are number 1 in getting calls.
Yeah.
So you weren't gonna get those calls. We'll see this week versus Jacksonville.
Really, like I'm watching though, I haven't like.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. The graph's probably not like who's getting the right or wrong calls. It's probably who's like the least. Let me pull it up real quick. Actually,
We could just be like.
ratio is, though.
We could just be being disciplined and not getting flags or whatever. I don't know. But I do want to talk about the Bills a little bit more before we move on. Huge win. 3 straight games of over 30 points. Beat the division rival.
You guys are actually 3. Casey's 8, but I don't know what it's for.
So that's like least calls.
Because this dude is saying Mahomes is elite, but he's getting more calls than anybody, and he says looks like the Jags and Jets get a lot of help from the refs. This list accurate to me because Green Bay's not on it. The refs don't fuck with us at all. So I respect this list.
But it's kind of like that Jets win week 1. It's like, yeah, we win, but fuck, like losing Trey White. He's probably the one person on the defensive side that I didn't want to lose, man. Like our cornerback depth has been our only weakness on the defensive side.
What was the Benford injury?
He came back.
What about
Poyer didn't play.
No. Wow, my head is our other cornerback. He got hurt too, man.
I think everyone's should be ready to play the next week
Why.
except for White.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck, man. Yeah.
Was it Dane Jackson?
Yeah. I don't know why I couldn't think of him.
He got hurt?
Yeah.
I don't remember him getting
Yeah,
hurt.
got hurt at the end. It was like in the 4th quarter.
Oh,
He shouldn't even have been in.
I probably wasn't even paying attention because we were up by 28.
I just wonder what we're gonna do. Are we gonna bring in Kyer Elam?
He has to. Like we have to.
I just wonder why. Like he's been he's a healthy scratch. He got outplayed. He got outed for the spot that we drafted him for by Benford.
So
I just
Steve made a
wonder-
good point. I was talking to him at Kelly's about it, and it's the Benford thing isn't that concerning because sometimes you just find that
that's
guy.
good. No, I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is that, and then he's been a healthy scratch. Like, are we screwed with him having to start? That's what I mean.
No, you got so what Steve said was like what's concerning is that Dane Jackson is like getting over him because it's like okay maybe we found a diamond in the rough with Benford and Benford he's been inconsistent but he's played really well and he's had some games where he played bad but he's young so whatever. But the thing that Dane Jackson a former 7th round pick, like the fact that he beat him last year, sure, but the fact that Elam's had now a whole season, a whole 2 off seasons to get used to it, and he's still not better than Dane Jackson. That's a little concerning. But it's either we have to play him and hope he's good, or we have to trade for someone. I wouldn't care if we traded for someone because we don't even know if White's going to come back next year and be able to play.
I don't.
Depending on what kind of great Achilles it is.
He's not going to play as a Bill ever again.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but it just sucks. He finally was looking elite again. Even the play he got hurt on, he's fucking on. I don't remember if it was Waddle. Whoever he was guarding, he was all over them. There was not even a fucking foot in between them, and then he fucking blows his Achilles. And he just started getting back to form after the ACL injury last year. He was pretty bad up until the playoffs, and then.
That's why I said that though. Like all the injuries.
Yeah.
Dude hasn't played in years, really.
The one positive is I think it was a different leg. I don't know how much that means. I'm not a doctor,
that's even
but
worse, though, 'cause you got both legs ready to go.
Well, everyone usually is like, "Oh, it's worse if it's the same leg multiple times." I don't know shit though.
either.
I don't know shit about injuries.
Losing him definitely hurts, man.
It fucking blows, dude. It fucking blows. Like I would, and I don't want anyone to get hurt. But if you're gonna tell me you see how good we played without Poyer. I think if we lose one of those safeties, we're fine. But I would rather have any combination of Hyde, White, Poyer, White than lose White. Like if you get what I'm saying. Like I just think that's the position we have the least amount of depth at.
I think I'd rather have Poyer and Hyde.
I don't.
Them dudes are nice.
They are really fucking good, but White corner is the most important position in the backfield. That's why they're getting paid all that money. Outside of edge rushers, who on the defensive side gets paid more than a cornerback for good reason. Jordan Poyer just got paid $13 million a year. If he was as good as a corner as he was a safety, he'd be getting paid $22. I don't know. I think just going back to 13 seconds, man, like not having White, I think, is the biggest reason that happened. Like, he's physical enough.
White was in the game.
White wasn't in the game.
I'm pretty sure he was, bro. That was
No, it was Dane Jackson and Levi Wallace. That was right after he tore his ACL that a couple weeks before that, and then so that was 2 playoffs ago. So he tore his ACL, missed that game, and then came back last year at week 10.
Okay.
I think it was Thanksgiving. No, Thanksgiving was Von Miller got hurt. He got hurt towards the end of the year though.
I think White got hurt on Thanksgiving too versus the Saints.
Yeah, it could be. Both of them might have been Thanksgiving.
Getting Von back will be nice.
I know, but just imagine if we how good our defense is, and then we add Von back, and then we lose White. It's just annoying as fuck. Every team has injuries, though.
Yeah.
I'm not making excuses for the rest of the year. It's just
man up, man.
it sucks. Hopefully, Kyrie Elam can step up. But moving on, I mean, we kind of went through a bunch of games, but I think we need to talk more about Houston, and I need to talk about Pittsburgh. So.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, fuck you guys. I'm here. I mean, like I said in the text message, we say everything on this fucking show that you can go back and look, and you can pick on us for the shit we say. But now I'm gonna pick on the shit for you that you guys say, acting like I'm a fucking idiot. And you don't have to you could still say that that's too much for the trade if you still don't agree for the trade. But the day after you guys are trying to act like I'm an idiot because I agree with Colin
Tell 'em
Cowherd.
what the trade is.
I'm getting
Tell
there.
who the people are.
Yeah.
I will.
Colin
Cowherd, who I also think 9 times out of 10 is an enormous idiot. He says ridiculous shit. He said...
He reminds you of yourself?
He's a handsome man. He said that if he was the Steelers, he would trade 3 first-round picks, T.J. Watt, and George Pickens for Caleb Williams. And I said he was right. And Aaron and Damon went crazy trying to say I'm mad dumb. I got bad sports takes. They didn't make a single point on why I was wrong. Damon said, okay, I would give up 5 first, but I just don't want to get rid of T.J. Watt. Aaron's just making up, okay, trade Josh Allen then, even though my entire point was you need a quarterback and blah, 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 saying a whole bunch of other shit that I can't even argue with because the points were so ridiculous. The next game the Steelers play, 114 yards, interception, quarterback rating of 55. And they lose, and they only score 6 points against the Houston Texans.
What T.J. Watt do?
Well, I don't know. What did he do? I don't know.
I'm asking you.
He could have had 7 sacks. They still lost 23-6 because no matter what, if you do not have a good quarterback, you are fucked. You are not winning the game. It's not winning. You can win a game. You are not winning anything of importance. That's my entire point. If you still think it's too much, go ahead. But don't call me an idiot because I don't think it's too much. When you have dealt with Kenny Pickett now doing this shit, Mitch Trubisky's going to come in there and be basically Kenny Pickett.
See what Carolina gave up for Bryce Young?
Bryce
Imagine
Young's
getting someone better than that, though.
Way better than that. Oh, you saw what the fucking 49ers gave up? It's the 49ers gave up right now. Gave up 3 firsts, Nick Bosa, and one of their receivers for Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams is, I mean, the Brock Purdy's actually good. I'm just.
Say that again?
He's good.
Right.
He's good. He's good. But, say they had a shitty quarterback, and they did that.
Yeah.
Their defense goes from one of the best in the league to just good. But look what other great quarterbacks do with just good defenses. It still would work out, in my opinion.
I don't know. In this league now, it's tough to say because
I'm sorry.
You got to score points, though.
The only point that Aaron made, Eli Manning did it twice. How long ago was that? Joe Flacco did it once. That was 10 years ago. That's not today.
Yeah, you got to put up points.
That's not today. And Joe Flacco also had an amazing run. You can have shit like that. Nick Foles had an amazing run. Normal Nick Foles does not win a Super Bowl. What the fuck? He took fucking the Hulk or the Captain America Super Serum for fucking 4 weeks.
He was on that.
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know what. But he played like an elite quarterback. If they make it to the playoffs and Kenny Pickett just somehow out of nowhere catches fire, sure, it can happen. But the odds of it happening, which is the same reason I was wrong about Purdy, you got to play the odds, maths.
I'll tell you one thing, though. I do understand one of their points, though.
Which is?
Bad offensive line and Matt Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, so say that, though. Which Damon did, but Aaron did not. I agree. If you say some good points against me, I'll let that go. Yeah. Good point. I just disagree. I think you can build those things way easier than you can find in an elite quarterback. Pat Mahomes will never see free agency. Josh Allen will never see free agency. Justin Herbert, who still looks elite in stats but can't win games, will never hit free agent. These guys will never hit free agency. You will never find them.
Let them fuck around and get a chance.
The Bills went and got Von Miller. Von Miller might not be T.J. Watt, but before he got hurt was great. They went and got someone like that. You cannot do that at quarterback. You can find a receiver like Pickens in the second round. They did. You're not going to find T.J. Watt, but you can find someone who's going to get Trey Hendrickson. I can name a bunch of guys who have over 10, 11, 12 sacks that people signed in free agency. You can build a pass rush. You cannot sign an elite quarterback. It happens very rarely.
Usually when they're old.
Yeah. When they're old, or maybe and this is if you agree that Kyler's elite or not, which who the fuck knows. Maybe now because they can possibly draft Caleb.
They can't. They might not be able to. The
I know.
pick one
That's
and
true. But that's my entire point, and I don't care that if you disagree, because I saw that most people do disagree. I just know, as a Bills fan who didn't have quarterbacks for years and we missed 17 straight playoffs, that's what happens. The Bills had top 5 defenses. The Bills had Takeo Spikes and London Fletcher and Nate Clemens and Antoine Winfield. We had those guys. Never sniffed a playoff until we got Josh. Well, I mean, we made the one with fucking Tyrod. But until we got Josh Allen, we were never a real contender for playoffs, for Super Bowls, nothing. So that's my point. If you don't agree, if you think it's too much, go ahead. But to act like it's ridiculous when all the math says the best way to be a contender is have an amazing quarterback.
Another point though is I don't think, and I know T.J. Watt's elite, and I'm not saying nothing bad about him. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he has a playoff win with just him.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
They've won. He's been there. When did he get drafted?
I'm not sure.
He's won 2. The Steelers have won 2 division titles since he's been there. The last time I believe was 2020, maybe 2021. They're 0-3 in playoff games since he's been there, and they got annihilated by the Chiefs when they in the last playoff game. So what is it doing for you? Going 9-8, 10-7. T.J. Watt has 20 sacks. Awesome. It's probably really cool wearing his jersey.
T.J. Watt's that dude, though.
He is. He is.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying a single bad thing about T.J. Watt.
You're just saying that he's not going to win you a championship. I get what you're saying.
He'd be a huge part to winning a championship.
But
That's why we went and got Von Miller. But
you need the other side.
Until you have a quarterback, I don't think it matters, and I don't think Kenny Pickett's that guy. And that was another thing that Damon disagreed with me and said it was a bad take. How do you know he's not going to be good? No one knows. I just don't think he is. I don't think he has decent arm talent. He doesn't have elite arm talent. He has decent mobility. He doesn't have elite mobility. His ceiling was always going to be like a Kirk Cousins if he got lucky.
Kirk Cousins is nice.
He is, and what happens in the playoffs? What happens in primetime games? Like, same thing with Dak. Great. What happens in the playoffs? I don't know. I don't see why. I can see their side of it. I just don't understand why they can't see my side of it. Because if you really think about it, look at.
I know if I was a Steelers fan, I wouldn't want to trade T.J. Watt as well.
I wouldn't want to trade him either. I'd be sick. But I'd be fucking real happy if Caleb Williams went out there and won a couple MVPs and was winning me divisions. And obviously you need to fix the other things. You obviously need that. But Josh Allen hasn't had a good offensive line.
So essentially, though, I think you said it would be T.J. Watt 2 firsts, and
if one of the picks was the pick swap.
Was it a pick swap, or was it actually 3 extra first on top? That would be a huge difference to me. If I'm only missing 2 first, and one of the first was to move up for Caleb, that sounds a lot better. I took it as you did a pick swap and then missed 3 years of first.
I don't know.
I don't know how.
He didn't really. Cowherd didn't really. I mean, if I'm throwing T.J. Watt in there, I'd probably be like, one of them has to be a pick swap.
Then I would be open to it a lot more, because then I'm only missing 2 of Caleb Williams' first 2 years first round picks. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
His rookie year, I'm assuming we're gonna suck, which sucks to lose that pick. But the second year, we'll start improving, and then we'll make a pick the third year, and hopefully go from there.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to stay on this. I do want to talk about C.J. Stroud. But one of the points they made was not a single GM would even think about this. And that's ridiculous, because a GM traded 3 first-round picks, Shelby Harris, who I know is not T.J. Watt, and Noah Fant, who sucks, but everyone thought had a decent shot at being a good young tight end, for Russell Wilson, who is old, and you had to pay him $40 million a year.
What did Sam
so you're
Fran
talking
give
about
up for Trey Lance?
Just 3 firsts, but still.
I'm saying,
yeah. And Trey Lance isn't half the prospect Caleb was. Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Andrew Luck and RG3, I think, got a big haul too.
Yeah.
On those moves, right? What was that one, Tank? Do you remember what you guys gave for Luck? It's pretty big.
I thought you guys didn't have the number 1 pick that year?
No, I think we did.
Yeah, they had the number 1 pick.
Well, then
already,
it was RG3 then.
We own that one.
So number 2 was RG3, and Washington gave up a
I
ton.
think.
Yeah, because Washington traded with the Rams that year, I think. Rams had 2.
Yeah, just to say that no GM in the league would even think about it is asinine and doesn't make sense because we've seen trades pretty similar for Russell Wilson, who has been really good before in his career, but you're paying him $40 million. You're getting Caleb Williams on a rookie contract, and he's a better prospect than Trey Lance. Like, no one would think about it.
Yeah, it's 3 first and a second for RG3 for the number 2 pick.
To be fair, was also a really good prospect, and I think would have been really good if he didn't fuck his leg up.
Yeah, but that's a better deal than giving up Watt though and Pickens. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
it's
but
supposed to be even better.
Yeah, and I think it means it means more now. Like, quarterback has just gotten raised in importance since that happened.
With the rules changes and just the way the game's played, like scoring, like you said, quarterback play is just a lot more important. Running back value is gone.
They also said like, oh, you guys have an elite quarterback, you haven't won a Super Bowl, so what's the point? I think that's a ridiculous argument because only one team wins the Super Bowl. To say that we're in the same position is not the same. Just because
I guess it depends who would have won the Super Bowl, but the fact that
Pat Mahomes twice,
Brady, and Stafford, all quarterbacks that were traded for or drafted high won, I guess would hurt their point. Like if it was like Trent Dilfer when he won the Super Bowl, or like Eli, like Aaron said, then you could say, okay, that now it doesn't
Eli
matter.
wasn't a big top first round pick.
Oh, he was
Eli
a
was the
first
first round pick, but you didn't give up that much. He wasn't elite.
Wasn't he first overall and then got traded? Then didn't want to play for the Chargers.
He got traded with like Rivers.
He got
or some shit.
and then they traded. It was
he said he wouldn't play for the Chargers.
Yeah,
but he still wasn't good though when he won the Super Bowls. Like he was just a mediocre quarterback his whole career.
But even looking at the teams that lost the Super, so you got 2 by Mahomes, 2 by Brady, 1 by Stafford since Josh Allen's been in the league.
Yo, they traded a Hurts for Stafford.
Yeah,
Hurts, who was elite last year, has looked up and down this year. He's still elite. I'm just saying. I don't want to like them comment on this shit. Be like, Hurts isn't even that good. Joe Burrow. Mahomes is one of the losers too, as well.
The only one it worked for was San Fran with Garoppolo.
Who has but they and I seeded this point already. I said you need an elite quarterback or you need a team like San Fran who's got elite everywhere else.
Yeah, not a lot of teams build the way San Fran has. They don't miss.
Yeah, so I mean, you got 1 out of 10 of the quarterbacks who've played in the quarterback since Josh Allen got here.
Well, they got like the best running back, one of the best tight ends, one of the best offensive lines.
They didn't have
which is why Aaron
says
says
he don't like Purdy. Lance thing, but they had Purdy in the 7th.
Yeah, they got lucky that they hit Purdy.
Yeah, so we can typo on it. If you guys want to call me stupid, call me stupid. I just think that the numbers say that I'm right. But going on, C.J. Stroud looks fucking phenomenal.
Carolina, if they would have picked Stroud, their trade wouldn't have looked so bad.
Yeah. What are they? So Carolina would be the 2 pick, the Bears would be the 1 pick, and then the Bears have the Carolina
and the
Carolina's
Bengals would
pick.
be the 4th pick,
and the Vikings would be the 5th.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh, they're taking for Caleb.
They're gonna show Steeler fans how it's done. You don't want Caleb? We'll get rid of Burrow for
Burrow and 2 first.
Facts. Did you see that Jamar Chase said he didn't want Burrow to play?
No, he said that?
He basically, he didn't say it like...
I saw that he said, I'm open. I'm always fucking open.
He didn't say it like, oh, he sucks. He meant like he's like, oh, he's tough. He's playing. But you can tell. Yeah. But
we'll
no, yeah.
Get more into Cincy soon.
C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson, I'll bring him up since Tank's here to make him smile a little bit, even though he didn't win the game. That's true. He did make a huge comeback and then lost.
We should rank them.
I still think I would put Anthony Richardson ahead of C.J. Stroud slightly.
I don't think I can.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I can either. Stroud he was supposed to be the best NFL ready passer, and he's just already past that.
Well, that's why I think I would put Richardson just a little bit above him, because it was the positives for Stroud is but how much further is he gonna go up?
I don't know, man. I mean, he's out there with Nico Collins and Tank.
Nico Collins the man.
Yeah, he's the man when CJ was on the team.
Yeah, they got weapons, bro. Low key, they got weapons.
Yeah, but I feel like they had those weapons and they didn't do anything.
But they had next level.
No, let's talk about something though.
Yeah.
Houston looks mad smart now. They what?
Yes, yeah, they do.
No, they take C.J. Stroud and then they moved up and got Will Anderson.
How's
right?
Will Anderson played? I haven't heard his name or anything.
I don't know, but I still think the Will Anderson move was a little.
Because that's why I don't think they're smart, because they didn't have to get Will Anderson.
The Steelers signed Denzel Mims.
They were getting C.J. Stroud anyways.
Yeah,
So I don't know if I can call them smart for getting Will Anderson.
I thought he was. I could have.
I mean, if he's a generational talent, but then that just goes into your point too. Like, you can't trade up for. Don't
But
go
they
get
got a
the TJ
quarterback.
Watts of the world. Go and get the quarterback.
He has 10 solo tackles, 5 assists.
See, stats are tough though, because it
He has
won't
a
show you
sack.
his quarterback pressures. Is he constantly in the backfield causing hell for the quarterback?
I
It
gotta
won't
watch
show
more
on
you
there.
can look that up. You can look up like
Yeah.
advanced statistics for them.
So
But-
didn't they technically, did they pick Anderson at 2 and technically trade up to
No,
get
they took
Stroud at 3?
right at 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they could have said it how they wanted, but I'm assuming like Stroud, if they only could make one pick, would have been Stroud.
So I mean, so they gave up the number 12 pick, number 33 pick, a first round pick next year, and a third, 2 firsts, a second, and a third for an edge player who. He's a great talent, but no one was talking about him like he was Myles Garrett or fucking Bosa.
Whatever they
We don't
did.
talk about T.J. Watt like that either. So they're hoping, I guess, he gets
Dude,
there.
they've been playing well.
Yeah, but you can use.
Right, so you could have played well, made the 12th overall pick, the 33rd overall
Yeah.
pick, and a first
Not
next
for
year.
nothing. If they would have kept the 12,
They could have moved up
They
for
could have
Jalen
moved up
Carter
for Jalen
cheaper,
Carter.
You know what it
Yeah.
reminds me of? It reminds me of fucking Billy Guns and the Replacements. He's playing well. He's trading all these picks. He's playing well, but he has no fucking chance of winning the league. And now he has no picks in the year.
He
Like
made some good
Houston,
trades.
yeah, but he has no chance of winning. Like the thing is,
Now
it's
we
like
gotta
sure
take-
they're playing better now because of that trade, but they gave up 4 fucking picks. They're a young team. Trust the process. Build slowly.
Yeah, I got to see.
they're just
we would have to
winning.
really
It's
see
crazy.
what Will Anderson, like I said, what he's been doing. What is Houston, 2-2?
Houston's
2 and 2,
yeah.
whole division.
But
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the
those
last
divisions.
2, right?
Yeah, the last 2.
They dominated the Steelers and the
The Jags.
Jags. So
They're at Atlanta this week.
Atlanta's so
Underdogs,
good and
too,
Ritter's so
underdogs.
bad.
I think as they should be.
You think so?
No, he said Houston's underdogs. I said I think they should be.
Really?
I mean, Atlanta's 2-2 and they're at home.
Ritter looks like a fucking asshole though.
They said Ritter's going to be the starting quarterback moving forward, just so you guys know.
I didn't think we were gonna come into this week saying anyone was worse than Zach Wilson, but holy fuck, he
Now
blows.
Zach Wilson looks elite.
He blows.
Yeah, Ritter's bad.
And
If you put Wilson and Ritter next to each other, though, I'm taking Wilson. I'm taking him.
Hell no.
Chill.
they got a good offensive line.
Fuck no. That dude sucks.
I think Ritter needs more time to prove himself. Zach Wilson's gotten like
He
games.
sucks.
I got to watch Ritter play versus Green Bay this year. He made a lot of plays, whether it was running or throwing the ball.
Really?
He hasn't been able to consistently
I
do
haven't
that,
really
but
watched
Zach
either of
Wilson
them.
hasn't had a game like that at all.
Maybe he'll get more consistent as like the year goes on.
Yeah.
I really like Atlanta's team's really good.
I don't know why they're not using Pitts more, but like John, who's been having a couple big games lately. I don't know. I think Ritter does suck. Like, I wouldn't want him, but I don't think Zach Wilson's better than him. That dude's fucking terrible. Zach Wilson took over a team that was like a Super Bowl favorite,
That's true.
and now they're just absolute garbage.
But honestly, I feel like if Rodgers was on the Falcons, I mean, where's their weakness at?
Yeah.
Outside of Desmond Ritter.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if they'd be Super Bowl favorites, but like, I don't know. Anything else from this past week that's really big that we need to talk about? I feel like I'm missing something. Let me pull up the schedule real quick before we get into. I'm trying to delay the Trap Nerd Fantasy League for Tank's benefit over here.
Well, we could do the winners and
Yeah, we
losers
fucking stink.
of what's happened through the first 4 weeks. Because that's what I'm waiting for. 2 of the games that we didn't talk about was because that's my picks.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, fuck it. Let's do it. You can start.
All right. Well, the winner for me would be the Lions. So far this year, all the draft picks that they've made, the trade for Jared Goff, everything's just worked out. Jamison Williams is now coming back. Their defense looks incredible. They rushed 4 every play basically versus Green Bay, and with 0% blitz, they got to the quarterback 47.6% of the game.
Wow.
And I don't know. I think we talk about Eli winning a Super Bowl is because all the Giants did was rush 4, drop the rest in coverage. It's hard to beat that when they're after Brady and he likes to throw the ball quick and they're right after him. They got 7 in coverage. I don't know. I feel like that's a great recipe. Dan Campbell's the man. That's they made a statement. That's their division.
And his son Jack Campbell has been fucking really good.
That's his son.
No.
Oh, I was like, that's sick.
No, it's
But
not his son.
They
He's been
haven't
really
even
good though.
unleashed Gibbs yet, and Montgomery's been really good. I think Gibbs will only provide more of a spark to the offense as the year goes on. Their O-line's solid. Like they're I don't know if they're ready to play with Dallas, San Fran, and Philly yet, but they're on their way, and they're definitely going to win the division.
Yeah, and
Like,
Jameson.
Jameson's back early.
He's the only thing they've been missing is that downfield threat.
Yeah. So he's a few weeks, or he's supposed to be back week 7. So
No,
now
this week.
No, I'm saying that's when he was supposed to be back. So now by week 7, he should have the rust will be knocked off. Like
Yeah.
they're really good.
Yeah, I agree. My winner was the Rams.
That's what my winner was.
Just because, I mean, they're only 2-2, but like the fact that they're missing Cup. We came into this year thinking they were going to be one of the worst teams in the league. I was telling Tank, like, off the top of my head, all I can think about is Aaron Donald. I don't know who else on that fucking defense. Like,
Yeah, they lost Von Miller, lost Leonard Floyd.
lost Bobby
Rat,
Wagner.
They got even Rat.
Yeah, like they lost everyone. Their defense still has played. It's been up and I mean the 49ers dropped 30 on them, but who aren't they dropping 30 on? But they gave the 49ers the biggest run for their money. They won 2 games. The Bengals loss is really big for me. They almost got knocked off my winners list because of that. They probably should have won that game looking at how bad the Bengals have been. But like just it's more of a winner of like the people they've gotten. Like if I told you that Matt Stafford was going to be throwing to a guy named Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, who's done nothing so far in his career, and Van Jefferson, who sucks. And then Cam Akers was going to be so bad that he had to get traded off the team. We'd be like, oh, this team's 0-4.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp's hurt too. This team's 0-4. What the fuck's happening? But no, Puka Nacua is like the best rookie of all fucking time.
Yeah.
Tutu Atwell's finally making plays. Kyron Williams, who fuck Sean McVay for the 5th time when it comes to fantasy because he always just says these running backs aren't going to play and then they're the best in the world. Kyron Williams is I think he's number 1 fantasy or number 2 behind McCaffrey.
He was number 2. I think he fell to 6th.
He fell to 6th and he had like 2 touchdowns?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Maybe last week he fell to 6. He came in this week at 6. Because he sucked versus the Bengals.
I think they're just a winner just from Kyron Williams and Puka Nacua's performance. And then
He's 4 now.
having those young guys, not having picks, giving up all those first-round picks, and then you're still finding these guys. You still have these elite guys, and then now Cup's coming back. So
Is Cup play this week?
he's eligible to play this week. I haven't heard.
They said I think he's practicing Wednesday.
So we'll probably see how that looks.
Yeah, they'll probably see how he looks. But I don't know. Thus far this year, they could have been a lot worse than they are. And like, just even if they don't make the playoffs this year, just knowing you have Puka Nacua, you have Kyron Williams, you have these guys playing well, I think is a huge win for them. They're not going to be a fucking top 5 pick like a lot of people thought.
Yeah, for sure. What about you?
Mine was the Rams too, but I guess I'll go with Houston. You know, they look good, 2-2. C.J. Stroud looks like an elite quarterback already. You know.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
I don't know about elite, but you guys know what I mean. Like he's
Yes,
playing at an
looked
elite level
dude.
at
He
least.
fucking,
Yeah. I
he's
don't know.
making all the right
Davian Pierce
decisions.
and them can't run the ball at all. Their whole offense is based off throwing the ball, so it's definitely been impressive.
It hasn't scared him at all. Like it hasn't messed with his time. Like he hasn't had to catch up with the game speed.
Yeah, he looks like he did at Ohio State. He's playing the same way.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Well, he's with an elite group. I seen a graphic on Twitter earlier. I think averaging 300 yards a game with no interceptions. I think he's in a group with like Breeze, Manning, Rodgers,
Oh, wow.
Peyton, and just off those 4 names, he's in that same mention.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
also seen he
unbelievable.
was-
That's insane.
He was the first to so many yards. Or not
I think
first,
he's the
he was like-
second most yards by a rookie through 4 games.
yeah, something like that.
I think
Yeah.
that's the stat I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna
well.
give them my winner since I can't give the Rams the winner.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that trade was dumb, but it's just as far as how the season's going. Yeah, I mean,
Like I said, we don't know we would have to really look and see it. Maybe Will Anderson is making a lot of plays.
in order for you to give something up like that, though, I feel like it has to be like a Myles Garrett type. I mean, you made the point. Sure, T.J. Watt didn't look like that coming into the league, but
I can't
don't
remember
know.
who Green Bay took over T.J. Watt at like 25, knowing that T.J. Watt went to Wisconsin, and we picked somebody who
and he like
sucked.
fits your bill too.
Yeah, it's
You guys
just-
always pick edge rushers and shit.
I just hate the way Green Bay drafts in the first round. It's so weird.
All right, Harry, you started with the winners, so you can start with the losers.
My loser is definitely Cincinnati. I mean, this is a team that has went to the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship the last 2 years, and now is 1-3. And I get they've had some slow starts. I'm not throwing in the towel on them. I don't know if it's Burrow's injury, but they look horrible every week. I just seen a stat. It was something, he has like the most pass attempts to start a season to average 5 yards a pass is like the lowest pass per completion or pass per attempt, whatever it was. You don't expect Joe Burrow's name to be on that list. You got Chase and Higgins. I feel like Burrow doesn't give them a chance to make any big plays down the field. He's under pressure. He checks down, throws it away, throws to like a tight end, like Wilcox or Sample or something. Not throwing it up to Chase and Higgins, I think, is silly. You see Chase is frustrated. I think they've abandoned the run too early the last couple of games. They're not trusting Mixon. He was averaging about 5 yards a carry against the Titans, which is very impressive. They went away from that. I don't know. They look horrible. I didn't expect them to be in the spot where, as of right now, they would have the 4th overall pick. But, I mean, I'm not going to panic because if they're in the AFC Championship game, I'm not going to be surprised. But also, as the way they look, if they are a top 5 overall pick, I'm not going to be surprised. It's got to be Burrow's injury. I don't know. But at that point, then, the training staff and the trainers and the coach, somebody has to be accountable for this. Like, if he can't play, him playing and being tough is cool, but he's not doing anything.
Right.
He's not throwing the ball downfield. He can't move. Like, he shouldn't be playing then. It's one thing to play hurt, but he's literally, like, playing so limited that this high-powered offense can't do anything.
Yeah, we've gotten to the point where I feel like I don't want to say toughness is overrated because it's still a huge part of the game, but the thing is, like, we saw it with Justin Herbert last year, broken ribs, they said he was like hardly could even torque his like upper body. We saw it with fucking Baker Mayfield, who looked like he was going to be he's doing.
Look how good he's playing now that he's healthy.
But like, and then Josh Allen last year was the MVP, the front runner, and then hurts his elbow, and I mean we still won games, but he definitely looked like he was a little bit less of himself. I just don't see why you got these people that you're paying $50 million a year. I thought Burrow was going to be fine. That's why I picked Chase so early, because they made it seem like, he's just missing the preseason as a preventative measure. So I'm thinking Burrow's going to be Burrow, and then he goes out there. He's obviously not healthy. Like, why are you putting this guy in this position? Especially
their O-line's bad, so he's constantly just getting wrecked.
What is good with that O-line? They were so bad his rookie year and his second year. And then last year they started out really bad, and got good as the season went on. And then they signed Orlando Brown, and now they're just back to being awful.
I don't know.
What the fuck is happening?
I don't know. They started off bad last year too, though.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is they got better. I thought like they had Jonah Witt, like they had some younger guys. I was like, maybe like they just need to get together and figure everything out. And then they looked better as the season went on. To be fair, the Bills' pass rush was pretty bad, but they blocked the fuck out of us. And then you sign Orlando Brown, who looked like he was really good in Kansas City. And the offensive line's just back to where it was the year they went to the Super Bowl. Yeah. Except Joe Burrow can't fucking move, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
That has been super
They're at Arizona this week, and, I mean, Arizona has definitely looked a lot better than we all expected.
Yeah.
But if they can't beat them, like, I don't know, maybe it's time to shut Burrow down. I know it sounds like a big, huge stretch and a panic.
But he's hurt.
Yeah, like, I just feel like you're not doing him any favors. Like, if you're going to be 1-4 and you lost to Arizona, I think you got to sit him down. Right now, obviously, they're going to look to steal a couple games, hope he gets healthy, and then go on a run. I mean, it's definitely possible. That's what I expect to happen. But if I was a Bengals fan, I'd be very concerned.
Well, especially all that money you paid him, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And plus, I said this on Tank Talk yesterday. There's a chance that he could potentially be the next, like, Andrew Luck, the way he's getting beat up every single week.
Yeah.
The potential he has, number one overall, in the way that he's been playing. It could be a sad story. I don't know. I hate to say it and hate to see it, but that's reality right now.
Yeah, they got to do something.
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be crazy.
We come on here all the time talking about you have a rookie quarterback. First thing you need to do is get him his offensive line, and they were able to get Chase and Higgins for him, and they've just had these past 3 years. They should have just been dumping money, man, just dumping money into that line. I guess they have tried. They had made some signings, but
they got Brown.
They got Brown, and they signed a couple guys last year, too, and it's, like, escaping me who they were.
Collins, who they released this season.
Yeah, he ended up being a bust, and there was one more. But I don't know. Like, the thing is,
they got somebody from, like, Tampa Bay, I want to say.
if you can't win with him hurt, like as good as Joe Burrow is, like he's already not the most mobile guy, but like if the thing is with Joe Burrow is he's never looked scared. He looks scared now. That's the thing that's worrisome to me. He looks terrified. Every time someone gets close to him, he's fucking boom, dump. Like that was like his biggest superpower. This man's not scared of fucking anything. He's going to go out there and you can sack him 9 times in a row and it could be fucking 4th and 20 and he's just as confident he's going to get that first down as he was on 1st and 10. He doesn't have that confidence right now because he probably doesn't trust in his own body.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't like the fucked up part is they could have sat him these past 4 weeks. They're in the same position probably. I mean, maybe they're 0-4 instead of 1-3 and he's healthy. And now you can go on a run possibly. I know it sucks. You don't want to just give up the first 4 weeks of your season, but I agree, man. I don't know. You just can't keep rolling them out there. Like, what if, like I said, I'm not a fucking doctor, but isn't the calf like the Achilles? Like, isn't that, like, aren't they around the same thing? Like, is he going to put more?
I mean, your Achilles goes into your calf.
It's not, like, the calf is the muscle, the Achilles is a tendon, but they're, like, around the same area, if I'm not
I don't
mistaken.
think that hurting your calf is going to blow your Achilles.
You're not going to blow your Achilles, but you
doctor,
could
though,
put
so I don't
more
know.
stress on other parts of your body. Right? Like, I don't know. Maybe I don't fuck. I just, like,
If they lose to Arizona, I think they have to.
yeah, please call in. It's not live, so you can't call in. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good pick for loser. My pick for loser is the Giants.
I was going to pick them.
I think
You
they're.
put this in the group.
I know. I didn't read any of it.
Come on, man.
I think they're one of the worst teams in the league. A year after making the playoffs, they fucking just paid.
Yeah, you've been calling it since the start of the year too.
He
Yeah,
fucking blow.
you guys said I was dumb for saying they had 0 chance of winning the Super Bowl. They had.
No, I thought you were done for thinking they were going to be one of the worst teams in the league.
I also thought that
And
too.
they're fucking horrible.
They have a negative 10%
They're
chance of winning
fucking
the Super Bowl.
garbage.
They've only played one like good quarter. Was their comeback versus the great Arizona Cardinals? So like, who gives a shit?
They
Yeah.
beat Dallas.
They beat Dallas.
Arizona
Cardinals did.
Yeah, but that shit's fucking. You see what Dallas did to the Giants?
Yeah, I mean, without and this makes Barkley a winner because without Barkley, they look fucking horrible.
I was
And
trying
they
to tell Joe that
they
shit
need
too.
to pay. They need to pay this man
Yeah.
100%.
They instead went and paid Jones
Yeah.
because
40
of
million.
positioning, but it's like, man, Barkley. The only time you went to the playoffs was Barkley's only healthy season, and that was the only time Dale Jones ever looked good. So you put those two stats together, how aren't you paying Barkley?
And they're trying to piece it together with the same offense they did last year with those bubble screens and shit with like Breida and what's that fucking other dude's name? Brightwell, and it's not working. I mean,
Or if you feel that way, why is your backup running back Breida and Brightwell?
because they probably just think anyone can do it. And
Yeah, they
Breida
were
was his
cocky
guy
about
from.
that
I know.
Breida's all right. Like he puts up some numbers. Like he got me 12 in fantasy. That's cool, but in real life he don't do shit.
Right.
It's like weird how that can work.
He was he must have been Dable's guy when they were both in Buffalo together. I don't know. But to go from the playoffs,
Well, Brightwell sucks. I don't know if he like.
yeah, I mean, I don't even know his
I'm not
name.
saying, huh?
I don't
Gary
even know his
Brightwell.
name.
That- no,
Rough
but
the punter and shit.
he muffed the punt. I don't know. He sucked.
Yeah, but just to go from a playoff team to like the Giants and the Seahawks were the two teams that we both said like had a chance of like, and the Vikings I guess too, that they've been a loser too. Their defense has been so bad, but just to like go from playoff team to absolute one of the worst teams in the league with a quarterback you're paying.
Yeah.
Like nothing's worse than having a bad quarterback except for paying a bad quarterback like he's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just looking back on that, that's one of the dumbest contracts of all time.
It's bad.
Like, at least Russell Wilson was good before he got his dumb contract. Daniel Jones had one decent year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're idiots.
Yeah, and they, honestly, they don't really have anything that I look at, and I'm like, well, at least they have this for the future. There's, like, nothing good about their team other
They
than
went and
Saquon.
traded for Waller. He doesn't do anything. Like, they don't really use
Yeah,
him.
they have no receivers.
I swear to God, I thought
Waller's
he was gonna
old.
be good.
Barkley's,
Waller hasn't
Barkley.
been good in a couple of years either. I thought it was just injuries and he could be good, and maybe he does still have something left, and they're just not figuring out how to use it. But I didn't draft Waller in any league, and I'm in a million of them. Yeah, it's just you got a guy who hasn't done anything in a few years going to an offense that sucks outside of Barkley. I wasn't really thinking anything special.
I
for
thought
him.
he was gonna catch a lot of like underneath catches
Yeah.
and shit. That's what I thought, but I was totally wrong.
I will say I was wrong about Waller. I thought the Giants were going to be really bad. I just thought Waller would still be able to put up some
They
numbers.
can't do nothing, dude.
I thought, if anything, Giants being bad would be good for Waller because I thought like maybe a lot of garbage time touches. But no, thank God I didn't draft him. I mean, he makes me not feel bad at all for drafting Kyle Pitts. That's how bad he's been. I think Pitts. This is the first time this is outside of what we're talking about, but I'm finally worried about Pitts. Because if Jonnu Smith can find some success, then I don't.
Yeah, Jonnu's had a good game for the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's been solid.
You got anyone else you want to put as a loser?
Yeah, Carolina. The only reason is I know that they probably were never gonna be good this year, but they traded all that shit to get Bryce Young, and they don't do anything. But the thing that confuses me about Carolina, because I think they traded for Bryce Young in hopes of actually doing something this year, because then they went and got Miles Sanders.
Yep.
Then they went and got Thielen, Chark.
Hurst.
Exactly. And dude, they fucking blow.
Yeah.
So I would put that as my loser.
Yeah, especially since everything they've given up.
They don't even got their first to be tanking. Like they should be trying to win.
You know what's crazy though is them actually making that trade makes your point for the Caleb trade respectable, because if that's what you have to trade to get Bryce Young, who I just never thought was worth that, then of course a team now that holds leverage of Caleb is gonna charge more.
I really hope we see. The thing is I think any team that gets number 1 is going to give up on their quarterback. So we're not going to see this unless it's obviously the Bengals. This is my dream scenario, actually. The Bengals, for some reason, they're just like Joe Burrow can't play. He sits. They get the number 1 pick because they're going to trade it. They're not going to get rid of Burrow. What do they pay them? That's my dream scenario. I want to see how much someone will pay.
Yeah.
Obviously, if the Bears get it, they're giving up on Fields.
I don't want to see the Bengals get not for nothing. I feel like it's going to make it tougher for the Bills if they get paid fucking a hole for the number 1 pick.
That's true. That's true.
Fuck that, dude.
That's true, because the one thing with the Bengals,
I don't want to see that shit at all.
I agree, because the one thing with the Bengals, even when Burrow was good, was Burrow's had they're gonna have to start paying people.
I want to see the Bears get it.
Well, the Bears aren't going to trade their pick.
I agree too. Are they do you think their front office is like, okay, here we go again? We seen what we got for Bryce Young. What can we get for Caleb Williams?
Yeah, honestly.
No way. They can't.
After getting paid like that, though, if they still believe in Fields, but they have the number 1 and 2 pick too. That's the crazy part.
So
they would draft Caleb and then trade number 2, probably Drake May. People would probably give up a lot for Drake May too.
If it's even Drake May still, I don't know.
That would be great too, because I would see how much they give up for Drake May and then add some on top of that.
You got DJ Moore, should have had Jalen Carter, and you're gonna have the number 1 overall pick next year, plus whatever else was in that trade for Bryce Young.
That's why they're my loser, man, because they.
Yeah, time will tell if they're gonna be the real loser.
But at least for now, that's all I'm saying. Because they don't
Young
have
looks bad. That's the problem. But if he ends up still being a top quarterback, then they did fine. But in this moment, he doesn't look like he belongs in the NFL. He's playing like Burrow, but without an injury. Yeah. He just checks down every play, scared to throw the ball deep. He's getting sacked on like 4th and goal, which Burrow got sacked on a 4th down play. Tua got sacked twice on 4th down. I don't get that. I hate that. Throw the fucking ball up.
Yeah, anything could happen if you throw it up.
You
Look
have
at the
players.
Vikings game.
You know what I mean? You have Jamar Chase. You have fucking Hill, Waddle, Higgins between these teams. I guess Bryce Young don't really have anybody that's going to go up and make a play. But
Thielen.
No. I watched White Man Can't Jump. I'm not throwing that shit up to Thielen.
You know, that was the joke, though. The white dude could jump.
Well, he couldn't dunk, and he lost all his money, though. So if I missed that part that he could jump, that scene did it for me.
All right.
He said, "You want me to give you a boost?"
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like Bryce Young coming into the draft. I didn't really like C.J. Stroud either, though. So,
yeah, I didn't like any of the quarterbacks, but I liked Richardson for his size and athleticism.
But the thing is Bryce Young. The whole thing was Bryce Young is small, but he does everything else great.
He does,
but he's not. That was his
IQ was supposed to be crazy.
Yeah, that was like his
So
draft.
what's his name?
What's
that quarterback you guys drafted?
Oh, Clifford.
Isn't his IQ crazy?
Yeah.
They were saying that if Bryce Young was the size of C.J. Stroud, he would be on the level, or at least close to Caleb, as like a prospect. If he was as big, but because he was so small that he dropped down a little. But the thing is even when he has clean pockets, we've seen him miss Mingo. Like I think it was 3 weeks.
It was week 2 on Monday.
Yeah. Mingo gets
still,
open.
He's only played 3 games though. You can't.
Yeah, you can't put it. It's just right now when you see how good Stroud has looked. the game doesn't look like it's too big for him at all. You see, like Richardson was 6 for 16 yesterday, but was able to still come close to winning a game with his legs. And I didn't watch that game, but Tank said that there was a lot of drops on a lot of his good throws, so maybe that completion percentage isn't as. But I don't know. You just like the game doesn't look like it's too much for Richardson and Stroud. It looks like it's too much for him. And
yeah, right now it looks bad. We got to, you got to give these guys a full year or two, though.
That's my biggest thing with QBs, though, is like, can you get out of that? Can you get out of the game looking like it's too much for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
Can you?
Well, didn't Peyton Manning throw like 6 or 7 interceptions in a game or something?
Yeah, but it's just the way you. I'm not talking about like the stats. I'm like the way you look when you go out there and you throw an interception, you get right back out there and you throw another interception. Like you're like, this isn't too much for me. I just got to learn. You're not scared. Like Josh
you're
Allen.
saying like why he's checking down and throwing the ball in the dirt so much. He just doesn't trust his reads or his arm.
Maybe he doesn't trust his receivers. Maybe that's the problem. I'm not writing him off. I'm just saying that's why I'm a little bit more scared.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, I'm not a fan of him either, but we definitely got to see more.
Even Josh Allen, when he sucked his rookie year, didn't look like
Bryce went first overall.
Yeah, it was the trade with the Bears.
Yeah, and then C.J. Stroud was 2, and then Richardson. Where were you guys at? 4.
Because Houston took Anderson.
Yeah. But all right, that was a cool segment. I like that. We'll keep going on. Well, we can't really keep going. We'll do that like you want to do that like
just
every 4 weeks
or something. We'll look back and see who's looking good.
All right, that was our winners and losers. So now we're gonna go on to fantasy for a little bit. We'll start with the Trapner League, and then we have some start sits for the week. Tank, you wanna start this one out for me or what?
Well, just plain simple. We fucking stink. That's it. We're off to a rocky start. I mean, it's a long season.
There's a
long season. Anything could happen.
That's true.
We got defenses involved. Anything could happen.
That's true. I traded
like I thought my team. Was out of it. Looking at it, I'm sitting at 2-2. Not as bad as I thought. We're sitting at 500, but
yeah, you're in the playoffs right now.
A little rocky. So
you guys got 2 playoff teams.
So once again, same top 3 is. Oh no, I forgot. Same 2 of the same.
Yeah.
I'm top 3 4 weeks in a row, boys.
Yippee doo.
happy for you.
Still second league in points because Harry's fucking 200-300.
He's
points apart.
fucking unreal.
Just absolutely annihilated. I didn't even start. I started as 0. I started an out player because I don't wake up to watch the Falcons play the fucking. I also didn't.
You didn't watch the Toy Story broadcast?
I don't have Disney Plus or ESPN Plus, man.
That shit was
Somebody in here watched the Toy Story version.
Noah did because he only had Disney Plus.
Really?
Yeah, I almost drove over there watched it. I was like, I'm not getting up this early to watch the Toy Story version. If he had ESPN Plus, maybe I would have been
that shit
there.
was fire.
It was cool.
It did look cool. I did watch some highlights on it. Bijan looked awesome, the way he moves with it. It looked really cool. So yeah, Damon, number 1 in points. Almost. What was your record? Like 311?
319.
319. Okay, so he wasn't that close.
But still breaking 300 is huge.
I scooted past Harry because Devin Witherspoon is that fucking guy.
Fucking
Yeah,
drafted
Jamal
him.
Adams got hurt. It took a lot for you to get there, but you got
I didn't
there.
start Zay Jones. I did start Zay Jones, but I'm
That's
saying.
not my problem.
And then Harry comes in third again. So Trap Nerd goes 4-0 on the week. I beat Seth. Damon beat Tank. Quake beat Dylan. And Harry beat Donnie.
Damn, you guys got wrecked.
You know what this is?
Yeah, I told Donnie when he beat Jake I was coming for his ass.
Yeah,
Smoked him real quick.
Yeah, Harry took that personally. But you know what? You guys are like setting this up for like a storybook ending. You know what I mean? You're just all
you
the
guys will
odds.
end up with 2 people in the championship or some crazy shit.
All the odds are against you guys.
Yeah, you know what? I think we're cursed because of last season, the way that you took.
Wouldn't
Milano,
I be cursed though?
What happened?
They're trying to say-
took Milano out of my championship game, man.
No, the Hamlin thing happened.
Or
I was up
whatever.
by like 55 points. He had Milano.
Milano has full capability. Of
Devin
doing it.
Witherspoon
You've seen
just-
it this season.
Devin Witherspoon just broke the record, I think, for defensive
he
players. I think he had 55.
Nah, Khalil Mack did, and I had both of them
What-
on my
what
team
was-
at the start of
That's
the year.
nuts, dude.
What was? Oh no, what
Why'd
is-
you let him go?
They fucking sucked on my team. They had to be freed.
well, you need to be a little bit more patient.
I
with
guess
these
so,
guys.
man.
Yeah.
Well, no, then I tried to get Witherspoon back, and then
but
we
I
bid the
outbid
same,
him
but somehow you had a better claim than me.
because it goes off of
What?
waivers.
Yeah.
So it's rolling waivers at the time.
Oh, yeah, that's why.
And you add and pick up so many people, you were at the bottom of the waiver list.
And then I dropped Khalil Mack because he
What was
wasn't
Khalil
that
Mack's-
good.
What was Khalil Mack's
I
score?
think he had like 60.
He finished with 60.
Yeah,
Weatherspoon had 51. But
Oh yeah, he
would've
definitely
had-
got beat because last time I looked at Khalil Mack, he had 55, and then he got another sack, I think.
You would have
That's
had
crazy.
120 points just between them two.
Yeah, one's on Damon's team and one's on Duke's team.
Well, at least Trapner picked him up. Yeah, so 4-0. Let's go over next week real quick. What we're gonna do? So, we got another 4 games
There we go.
for the division. Me and Poop, Joe and Donnie. Joe, you're actually projected to beat him. Projections haven't meant shit in this league.
I got like
but,
6 zeros in my lineup.
I'd be 0-4 or 1-3 if projections mattered.
Dylan versus Damon, and then you have a fucking free win this week. But
Who do I
it's
play?
Axe.
I need that shit.
And then Tank versus
I needed
Quaker.
it too.
I got
So
some
you guys
buys
can
and
tie
shit.
it back up.
We could.
We
You're
got
not
four
gonna.
matchups.
No one stands a chance of beating
What are we
you.
up in the standings?
7-3.
So there's 4.
Yeah, and there's 4 games this week.
I'm kind of concerned with my team though, because Mike Evans went down. And
They're on bye too, so it's kind of a good week for that at least.
How long?
T Higgins too was real.
Yeah,
That's
they were saying depending on his tolerance, he might be able to play or only miss a little bit of time.
Okay, we'll take that.
The initial
With,
report was looking bad, but
yeah.
then they were saying he might. I mean, do you really? That's another thing we didn't bring up. Like, do you throw Higgins and Burrow out there? They're a mess right now. But
I got
forgot about that.
J-Mo coming back though, so hopefully.
yeah, that's huge. I think that's gonna be huge, man.
If you just really quick, let's talk, if you're in that position, what do you want to do? Like, if you're a Bengals fan, what do you want them to do?
I think you should be able to beat Arizona without Higgins
Yeah.
and get to 2 and 3, and you're feeling a little bit better.
Do you sit Burrow though, or do you play it?
You have to play Burrow.
You can't stop playing.
You lose without Burrow. Browning probably don't
Yeah,
beat
but do
Arizona,
you
or
put
whoever
his
their backup
you
is.
put his health at risk?
I mean, just block. It's Arizona.
Yo, can I real quick? I know this is totally not on topic, but PFF just dropped like all the rookies, and they said about Will Anderson, and they gave him a 72.9 grade, and they said that he hasn't missed a tackle, and he's had multiple pressures every game.
And then they gave him a
That's dope.
shit grade.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, 73 is not bad.
I don't
60
know.
is like above.
I used to
His
go
average.
home with
his
73s, and
overall-
my mom wasn't thrilled about it.
His overall grade 76.7, and his ranks 1 out of 13 though.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's tough. Like that's tough grading.
What's
It is
principal
tough grading.
opponent mean?
60. I believe 55 is like their average.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. You'd have to look.
I mean,
but-
it has to be because you're saying a 76, and then they're
It said
complimenting
he's
him. or
Houston's.
whatever.
Yeah.
He said it says he's Houston's best pass rusher and would be squarely in the race for defensive rookie of the year if not for Jalen Carter's freaky performance so far in Philadelphia.
That's
I
cool,
can't
though.
believe these motherfuckers passed on Jalen Carter, dude.
Wow.
10 teams, bro. Or what? 9 teams.
Well, yeah, Philly traded to 9, or it would
Yeah.
have been.
And they gave Anthony Richardson 2 and Stroud's 1, and Bryce Young is 3. So
I want to pay
that's
for
fair,
PFF.
yeah.
I know it's not perfect, but it's
It's something to go
it-
off
it's
of,
and it's usually pretty accurate.
it has a lot of content like
Yeah.
to go off of.
My bad, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
but
I
that's
mean, it was
all.
relevant to
Yeah,
what we were
that's all,
talking about
yeah.
before. All right, so yeah, Trap Nerd League is it's the Trap Nerd League. You know what I'm saying?
It's named
You got
properly.
you got it from now. You got it from now. I can't say.
So moving on.
Tank's gonna be
I played-
recruiting next year. He's
How
gonna
are
be like,
you
yo.
doing in your other leagues, man?
I actually lost all my other games this week, except for
Everyone.
This week
except
sucked.
for one in my family redraft league. But this week was fucking.
It was
weird.
horrible.
It was weird as hell.
Oh, well, we could talk about a merge too. That might make you
Oh, yeah.
happier. Oh wait, no, Trap
No.
Nerd's number 1 in points and record in that one too.
Yeah, we lost by like 3 points.
Oh,
Motherfuckers.
Oh, who scored the most by 40 points? Oh, Trap Nerd Sports. Trap Nerd
sounds
Sports.
about right.
Let's
Good.
go.
Hey, good week for Trapner. You can't give it to him.
Let's go, boys.
I have to do this because I had to pay Tank last year because he beat my ass in fantasy. I'm not talking that much shit. Tank is actually a very good fantasy player. I just like rubbing it in.
You guys ever have McCaffrey,
We're not
Diggs,
dead
and
yet.
Dallas?
It's not over yet, motherfuckers.
That is wild. I faced.
I had McCaffrey, Diggs, and Dallas's D, and I lost by like 40.
Oh.
And I
My
beat the
dad-
rest of the league by like 70, like the next closest.
That's tragic.
Stupid.
Yeah, that's really dumb. But yeah, just going on. I did pretty good in fantasy this week. Not that it matters.
Yep.
Starts in 6.
Shitty people were winning this week.
That's what you said last week too, which is crazy.
Seahawks
Shitty people are on shit.
Seahawks D won me 2 leagues. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
There's like, yeah, the defense is. Who else went crazy this week?
Dallas.
Dallas.
That's what they do.
I had them too.
What'd the Bills finish with?
Bills' defense is really good this year, too. Baltimore's defense is really
Yeah, I had
good.
them too.
Baltimore's defense being good doesn't make sense because they have just as many injuries as last year. Like they
Yeah,
have.
they're also getting, like, they play DTR.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it. If you guys watch any of that game, that guy fucking sucks.
He's bad.
I watched this man in a clean pocket give everything he had, throw a bomb. It was like fucking short out by like 5 yards. It was fucking crazy. He's horrible.
You know what's also horrible?
Huh.
This fucking tea. I asked for 3 honeys, and there's no honey in here.
Sorry.
That's
brother.
Bucky's.
Starbucks, man.
That's
We
Bucky's,
should go
man.
give that to
The cheese
DTI.
Danis was delightful, though.
Where'd you go? Starbucks? There's cheese Danis's are fire.
I'm hungry.
I says the first feeling.
I'm messing with you, dude. All right, so we're gonna do starts and sits, because like you just heard, we're fucking elite at fantasy, and you should probably listen to what we're talking about.
For week 4.
I mean, I got some championships, bud.
Start us up.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
All right.
We'll all go do a start and then our sit.
I do have to pull up my phone because I'm not good at remembering all this shit.
That's
But
all
my start of the week is Zay Flowers. So far this year, the Steelers are 7th from the bottom in passing defense yards wise. But when it comes to fantasy points, they have let up the 6th fewest fantasy points to tight ends. So if Odell Beckham and Bateman are still hurt, that just leaves Zay Flowers and Andrews, and they've been good at shutting down the tight end, so that just leaves Flowers. So and the thing is Flowers had his worst week of the season last week, and it was still 8 points. He's been over 10 points every week so far. He's a rookie. He should get better. This is obviously not going to be your wide receiver 1, or shouldn't even be your wide receiver 2. But if you have him on your bench and you're thinking about other guys for flex spot, I think Zay Flowers is going to be a floor 10 points, but could easily give you 18 to 20 if he gets a touchdown
or something. Yeah.
He was huge in camp. Everyone, he was the best receiver in camp according to all of the reports. Andrews is the best receiver over there, but like I said, Pittsburgh has been doing a good job of keeping the tight ends out of the games. And even before last week, Andrews wasn't really doing much at all anyway.
Breakout game.
So I'm not saying sit Andrews. You got to play him, but I think Flowers will probably be the leader of that team this week, and there's not a ton of great matchups.
Yeah,
so
it might be a little bet. Flowers to lead that game in receiving yards.
Yeah.
Might be a solid bet.
That's who I got.
I'm going Devin A-Chain. Telling you boys about him.
Yeah,
But,
you
I
are.
mean, it's not like a crazy, oh, my God, start Devin A-Chain. I'm a genius. He just scored fucking 50-something and almost 30 points.
Yeah.
But I know me personally, I didn't start him either of those games. After the 50, I thought, okay, Denver sucks. He's facing the Bills.
Then he scored twice.
And then he somehow, in a game where they looked bad and got destroyed, he was unstoppable.
And they gave him goal line touches,
Yeah.
which is nuts.
So now going up against the Giants, I just look at it as we now all know we don't have to be afraid anymore. It's an easy start now, not just a flex. He could be your RB1 like that dude.
He's
And that
nice.
offense he's really good, and as long as he stays healthy, it's an easy start every week. I mean, daily fantasy, season fantasy, I just think A-Chain has to be in the lineups. And like I said, I was personally scared. I didn't start him last week,
I
but
didn't either.
easily starting him this week over anybody that's on my team. I don't care if I had to decide him, Aaron Jones, and Swift, I'm starting him, because that's my running backs. I wouldn't care. He's too good.
I think he's become he's just the must start every week. He's just become
He can take it
he
to the
can
house
be your
at
wide
any
receiver
moment.
or your running back 1.
He's very explosive.
And I say this not just because of what he did, but how he did it. Okay, he has those huge plays. So we've seen people have huge plays. Next week they don't have huge plays. But the fact that they're using him on the goal line,
Yeah,
even though
6
he's
touchdowns in 2
5'6",
games, yeah.
you know, and it worked. Yeah, he's got to be. He's gonna be every year they release the players who are on the highest percentage of championship teams. It's gonna be him and Kyron. I have more confidence in Achan, which I think.
Kyron Williams really relies on the Rams getting to the goal line, and then he does
Yeah.
a great job of scoring the
And now Kupp's
short
coming
touchdowns. But A-Chain's doing it from all over the field, up 70-20, down 48-20. It doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
2 different scripts. He's crushed.
Yeah, so I think if Kyron Williams keeps it up, but Achan will probably 100% be the guy that's on the most winning teams this year. I wish I was as high as I wish I listened to Harry, man. I wish he didn't get hurt in camp. I didn't get a lot of shares for how high I was on him. I ended up with a lot of Mostert shares because of the injuries. But I only got him on 2 teams, which sucks. But yeah, I mean,
what about you, Joe?
I got a weird one. I think my start is Jake Ferguson. That's my start.
I don't
of the
mind
week.
that.
I think especially because they're playing San Fran this week. You know, he's already getting a lot of targets. Last week he got like 7 for 70.
Yeah, he was cooking.
And he's running more routes now. And I think they're gonna need him to do something in order to have a chance at beating San Fran.
I like
so
that.
I think that he's I think that's my.
And Dak just loves his tight ends. And not for
Yeah.
nothing, you look at Schultz, everyone thought was good. He can't get a target.
I think Singletary threw him a touchdown this week. So
Yeah,
the only way
yeah.
he scored. He needed Devin Singletary to throw. But because of Joe's start, I'm going to do my sit. Because my sit's funny because it's George Kittle. And tight ends suck, so it's very hard to
That's
sit
funny.
Kittle.
Yeah.
But if Ferguson's on your bench or on your waiver wire, a guy like that I think is a much better play for the fact that Kittle has one game out of 4 so far with double-digit scoring, and it was a game Ayuk missed.
Yeah.
So the 3 games Ayuk has played, Kittle has not got double digits. He had 1 target last week versus Arizona. And the other thing about Kittle is obviously he's a great blocker. Versus Dallas, I expect him to help on Parsons and help protect Purdy. So he's going to run less routes. Maybe because it's Dallas and they need all hands on deck to beat him, Kittle ends up getting a ton of targets. I don't see it. So I think I would sit Kittle if I could. In the leagues I have him in, my tight ends suck. If I can get Jake Ferguson or somebody, I would start him. And if I was doing daily fantasy, I would not play Kittle. So that's my personal opinion on that.
Yeah, my sit of the week, I went pretty deep here. Not to find them, but to find the stats. We talked about how bad the Panthers' offense was earlier and how bad their team is. Miles Sanders has been horrific.
Yeah,
Like
it's sad.
he has to be one of the worst picks of the year. What was he, like a 5th round pick?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a steal.
Yeah, I would have. So I knew coming into the year, and this is for all position players. Houston obviously isn't the case, but running backs, receivers with rookie quarterbacks tend to be pretty bad. Houston, obviously not the case. He's got guys who we've never even seen do good before doing good. But that's usually the case. And then now that Bryce Young is not even a good rookie, that has really gotten to him. So I'm just gonna read some of this stuff here because I knew Sanders was bad, but like I was like, you have to still start him. He's your RB2. He's been worse than his projections in 3 out of 4 games, and his projections haven't been high. He's part of one of the worst offenses in football. And I put this in the wrong order, so my bad. But right here. So they're playing the Lions, who have allowed the 2nd least rushing yards in the entire league and are tied for the 3rd least points against.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Lions have the number 1 rush defense now.
2.
Really? On the score, they're 1.
Maybe.
I
looked it
forgot
up
to mention
last
that when
night,
I was
but
talking
maybe.
about the Lions, they're top 10 in offense and defense with the number 1 rush defense was something that I wrote down.
When I looked, they were like 5 yards behind.
Maybe it was per game then.
Yeah, maybe.
Whatever, but yeah, they're nice.
They only allow 3 yards per carry, and coincidentally, Miles Sanders only averages 3 yards per carry. 3rd toughest fantasy defense against the position. They only led 9 points for the entire position of running backs.
Yeah,
Every
Jones
single
and
running
Billy
back
couldn't do shit.
together scores 9 points per game against the Lions. And this is super concerning because his backup has been better than him in every way by a long shot. You hate Chuba Hubbard. You say he never score again. He's so much better than Miles Sanders
Yeah, his
this year.
stats have looked better. He'll never score again, but
He might not, but he has half the carries and almost as many yards. He has, I think
Miles Sanders be wearing the defenses though. And then Hubbard comes in.
they have almost as many receptions and receiving yards, despite Miles Sanders having like 8 more targets.
Jeez.
So Hubbard is averaging 2 yards more per carry, and he has a better run success rate. His run success rate was 57%. Fucking Miles Sanders was like 28.
Wow.
His yards per carry are better. Everything is better. He has like 5 more first downs on almost, like I said, half as many carries. So not only is he part of a bad offense, but he's not even the best running back in
He's
his
not
offense.
even playing well on top of it.
And he's going up against one of the only way to score points against the Lions running backs have had minimal success is catching the ball. I don't know. I wouldn't start him. If he doesn't get a touchdown this week, he's going to be very, very bad. So that's my sit of the week.
I like it. Me? I didn't go as far into depth as you did, but I think my sit is Jerry Jeudy, man. And solely because Denver stinks, but they just scored 31 points and he had 7 fantasy points. So to me, I think you got to sit him until he starts exploding.
Especially against the Jets defense where
your
it's hard to
sauce
have
will
success.
probably be on him too.
It's just weird because Judy led the team in receiving last week, and he leads the team in the games he plays in targets, and he just doesn't get any of Wilson's touchdowns. It's
and
crazy.
he's a smaller. You got Sutton, who's a big guy.
But even
You
still,
got-
I mean, maybe it's because I'm just like such a fan. It's like every time Wilson throws long to like this Johnson dude or Mims, it's like a perfect play. And when it's to Judy, it's just he has no chance to catch it. It's just so frustrating.
Or it's like all the way out of bounds or some shit like that.
Or there's
yeah.
a flag. He had a touchdown called back against the Dolphins.
So I just think until he starts steadily doing better, that he has to be on the bench.
Especially like I said,
unfortunately.
especially against the Jets. I agree. I think all Denver.
yeah, and it's probably not a good idea. I hate that the Packers are on bye.
They're on
Or
bye.
not the Packers. I have someone on bye, so I have
The
to start
Bucks, the
Sutton.
Chargers.
I don't know. I'm
But
in
Sutton
so many
at least
fucking
gives-
leagues I can't remember, but I have to start Sutton this week. That's the moral of the story, and I really don't want to start him, even though he's been getting touchdowns. He's been,
Like last week, like Judy was way better than him, and he got that the touchdown. Obviously,
Yeah.
crushes everything. What were you
but
gonna say,
Sutton has. Oh, sorry,
I
go ahead.
forgot.
You were saying something about Sutton.
At least he gets the red zone. Like,
Yeah, he scored 3 straight
Targets,
weeks.
yeah.
And he had a huge game.
He
I
had
think it was
90
against
yards
Miami.
and a touchdown against Miami.
Yeah.
He's had over 11 points every game, I think, except for last week. He had 11.
I know me and Demond, we started him every week so far this year. He's just right on the bench this week.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Just and a side note about that, I mean, obviously not against the Jets, but why don't this is like beating a dead horse. What the fuck? Why is Mims not on the field more? He goes on the field. I mean, I get one was a punt return, but he's just the most explosive player they have. The one long bomb, and the game that he had the 2 catches for a touchdown, he was on the field for like 7 snaps.
Yeah, I don't know what their issue
What
is.
is with these coaches, man? Now, my buddy was arguing with me at the bar because Gibbs wasn't getting touches, and he's like, you don't know more than these coaches. You're just mad because he's on your fantasy team. Of course, that's the reason I'm the most mad. But it still doesn't make sense that you draft a running back
At 12.
At
and where
12.
they pick him, yeah.
and then not put him on the field. And Mims was what, 2nd or 3rd round?
I think second, I want to say, but I'm not sure.
You're struggling on offense.
Maybe third.
Mims, every time he goes out there, does something great. The Bills, Kincaid, got a little bit more action this week, but they're not using him.
He's
Like,
on
look,
the field, though.
Look how good Laporta is.
Yeah.
So one of 2 things is true. They either drafted the wrong guy and Laporta's the best tight end, or we're just not using our rookie, which is what I'm going to lean towards, because we also didn't use Cook, who's just been eating.
They could be saving Gibbs, too.
They could be. But
when
it's just
Montgomery missed, Gibbs had 17 carries.
Yeah,
He had
yeah.
over 20 touches, over 100 yards or whatever, so it wasn't like they were scared. But I think they're just going to get what they can out of Montgomery. He's still a good back.
yeah.
I don't think they want to, like, pound both guys. I mean, we got to see.
It's just more of a. There's just certain coaches that don't play rookies, and
No, it is weird.
it makes
doesn't
me
make
more mad
sense.
in like the Bills sense, because the other 2 teams. Well, the Lions are a contender, but they do have a good guy ahead of them. But the Bears aren't contending. Like, get your young guy out there, see what he can do. But the Bills, it's like we're doing great. So who cares about this point, to be honest? But it's like you draft this guy because we really needed help offense past Diggs. You draft this guy in the 1st round.
And you
and
just
then-
haven't
and-
needed the help yet.
That's all I was
That-
thinking.
that could
I was
be
going
it.
to say
That
that.
Down
could
the
be it.
stretch, he's going to gain more trust from the coaching staff and Allen, and you might need him more when you're beating teams 37-3, 38-10, and
They're just going to go to what you
48-20. I mean, they're not really.
That's
you know,
true.
Detroit
Yeah.
probably feels the same way. Now the Bears, that's something to talk about.
Yeah.
Your offense sucks. Your team sucks. Get the ball to Roschon. See what you got there.
Fuck, let's talk about this, though. I know the Claypool shit. What's going on with that?
He just sucks.
Yeah, I heard
They-
Kansas City, San Fran, and Green Bay have called in about him.
They told him to sit home.
Yeah, because he don't have no heart. Teams don't like
he
that
made
shit.
some comments too, though. That I think that's what.
They asked
well,
if he was being used to the best of his ability, and he laughed and said no. So he's just obviously having an issue. The problem is he was in Pittsburgh and Chicago, 2 teams that have horrible play calling. So it's unfortunate for his career because I do think Claypool is pretty
Dude,
decent.
Claypool on the Chiefs might be, like,
Right.
nuts.
But the problem is this dude's out doing like fashion shows in Paris and
But he
trying to
won't
be
do
a
that with
model.
Andy Reid.
But I'm just saying he's not putting in the work. He doesn't show the heart. Coaches don't like that. I personally hate that shit too. But there's a difference of, sucking and then just giving up on your team and just being like a.
I agree, but the Bears need to take ownership of that because he was dancing and stuff for Pittsburgh, but we never heard anything about his work ethic, right? I mean, I don't
I don't know if it's
remember
necessarily
hearing anything.
just his work ethic, but he's definitely willing to quit on a team or the Steelers are losing and he's up doing a first down signal. When time's coming off the clock because he's just happy that he made a play.
That's true.
He doesn't care that the Steelers are down, is what it seems like.
Yeah.
He's happy. I got my fucking catch first down, bitch. I don't care about the clock.
Yeah.
That type of player obviously Tomlin wasn't going to deal with it, and the Bears are not going to deal with it.
And
You
they
got to
should-
be more about the team.
That's a good point. Because the point I was going to make was like the Bears have to take ownership of that because they have no leadership. I mean, we can talk all we want about Fields, but they have not put him in the best position. Even this year, their offensive line looks fucking garbage.
Yeah, he called out
and their
the
play
coaching and shit.
play calling is awful. And I don't think that it's kind of like when you're working a job and the manager ahead of you who's making mad money is like asking you to do crazy shit. You know what I mean? It's I'm not wording that the right way, but it's like
I know what you mean. Though.
you're
I've worked in retail.
you're in this toxic situation. They do everything wrong. The Bears do everything wrong. You have the most athletic quarterback outside of Lamar Jackson. Almost broke records. We talked about this last week. You haven't had any designed runs for him, like almost zero designed runs from him. When that was the only time your team succeeded last year. Sure, they didn't win games, but at least they went from being unbearable to watch to fun to watch, even though they're going to lose.
Right.
And they done none of that. They have like all their play calls are Fields in the pocket. Claypool has some talent. Like I feel like sure he did that shit under Tomlin, and if he's gonna do that under Tomlin, he'll probably do it under anyone. But like if he goes to the Chiefs and he has Mahomes and he has Reed and I don't know,
I would take him on Green Bay for a 5th or 6th round pick for sure.
I think the Bears front office and coaching
I was
is
gonna
to blame
pick the
for
Bears
everything.
as my loser, but then
Yeah.
I thought about the fact that they do have the number 1 and 2 overall pick right now, so they're still
Which
doing
is-
what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's cool for anyone else, but for the Bears, it's like you've had this for 6 years.
Right,
Like
but I mean,
you should be seeing something.
Yeah, we still got
They
like
want
I just
Caleb
couldn't.
and Marvin Harrison.
Sure, but like I pray that Caleb doesn't go there.
Caleb won't come out if he has to go there.
I don't
already
think he
said.
will. He
He
did. He did.
Yeah, he named 5 teams that he would play
I know
for.
Arizona's one. Or no, Arizona's not one of them.
You said what?
A few of them aren't realistic.
Yeah, it was like Kansas City. What was it? It was something silly. I know Minnesota was on there,
He
which
said
is
the
realistic.
Niners,
Yeah, the Niners were on there.
That's not
the
gonna happen.
Cowboys. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I think Vegas maybe,
Vegas was one, which maybe I
Yeah.
don't know.
but he's making more money in college than he would make in the NFL next year. He said.
Right? He said that.
So,
Why Vegas?
he
They're
prob- I
like
think he
another
wants to
team.
stay
that-
out
maybe the
west.
market. I don't know.
I think he wants to stay on the West Coast because he's in Southern Cal right now. I think he wants to stay west. Minnesota was a team though because he can play with Jefferson. I'm sure
Yeah.
Jefferson
And
and,
Addison.
his boy Addison. He played in college.
Minnesota
with.
can be realistic.
Yeah,
If
they
they
can
make
make
it
it
happen,
If they
happen.
keep
win.
losing, if they
Yeah,
keep
they can make
losing.
it happen. They did beat Carolina, which will probably cost them in the long run. But I don't know. They could have traded Cousins to like the Jets or something.
They're not gonna do that.
Yeah, they said no. So
Yeah,
they're
they're
not
not gonna do
looking
it.
to
Who said
tank.
no?
Minnesota said they're not trading him.
They're not. They want to win. They don't. They're not gonna win, but they
But they
want
want
to
to,
win.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't think Caleb would come out if his options were Chicago, but
Yeah, but if he got to him and Marvin Harrison, he might.
yeah, if he
Maybe.
can, if
Yeah,
that's
if he
the
had that
case,
opportunity, I think he's
I'm sure it
taking
would change his mind. Yeah.
But the thing, we gotta. It's too early. Like
I still
these
think
top
Arizona,
five
I
teams
still
aren't-
think Arizona will be in the top 2 picks.
they sure should. I was gonna name them as a loser. So why are you trying to win games, bro?
Yeah.
I think another thing. I think
'cause it's a new
the Bears would
coach.
be
I was just
scary
about to
though
say
with Caleb, Marvin Harrison, and DJ Moore.
And then
would-
and then
I
fire
wouldn't-
their
I
head
wouldn't-
coach.
I was gonna say I won't fear the Bears until their whole front office goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair too.
You can give them fucking Mahomes. I think they'll come in last in the North, but
Because realistically, they don't have the worst offensive weapons right now.
yeah, there's no reason they should be this bad.
Yeah.
If you saw my brother was on here, he was so excited. I think even you at one point, you were telling me that one of you two questioned me when I said that there's no way the Packers should have lower odds to win the division than the Bears. It won't even be close. And one of you guys said, "Oh, I don't know." We'd have to
trying
pull
to
the episode up.
remember.
I think it was you,
It
but
might have been me.
it just was laughable to me because that team fucking sucks. But I love to see it.
You do?
Oh man, give them the top 10 picks in the next year's draft. They can have the top 10 overall picks.
Probably was me because I thought their offense was
They'll
decent.
fucking come in last. Fucking team sucks.
Yeah, they're like the
Who
Browns.
owns them?
They're one of the old owners, right? Or
Yeah.
did they sell?
I think they have like the same old female owner, I believe, or she might have died or somebody died.
Nice.
Damn, nobody said like Aaron Rodgers or something.
Yeah, but now Jordan loves them there now.
The Bills are getting to Aaron Rodgers levels with the Dolphins, which is funny because the Dolphins have actually had decent teams. It's easy to own the Bears. I'm sorry, it's still impressive, but
I mean, what have you guys done for like 3 years?
for
Rodgers did
five,
that shit for 15
5.
years.
We're-
Okay, so 10 more years. Tell me that you do still own them.
That's true.
Okay,
That's true, but at least we're beating.
My entire
we're beating
lifetime.
good Dolphins teams though.
I'm 33 years old. Beat the Bears' ass all the time. But no, it is impressive what Josh Allen in his career. It's insane what he's done to Miami. Even like when you guys weren't good, Josh Allen was smoking Miami. It was crazy.
Good. Fuck Miami. All right. So anything? Is there like we don't have to like get into it? Is there any other guys that you're like, okay, we really need to sit them like just off the top of your head?
Judon's done for the year. Mark just texted me.
Oh fuck.
Torn bicep.
I hate that I called them the worst team, and not the worst team in the league, but one of the worst teams in the league, and now they have an excuse. It's like we wouldn't have been one of the worst teams in the league if everyone wasn't hurt. Like all of their defensive backs are hurt.
Well, that's the problem, though. Like one of the reasons of why I took New England's under is their defense has to be healthy and play at a high level for them to have a chance to win games.
Yeah.
Their offense is doing exactly what I thought their offense would do, especially with how hard their schedule is. And now as the defensive players fall, like, yeah, they're going to be bad.
They could be in the market for a quarterback in the draft.
I think so, too, man. We had this discussion the other night. Like, I supported Mac Jones for his first few years.
Yeah, me too.
And now, like, this year, I get, okay, the offensive line, like, you can't have all the excuses. Like, yeah, if Mac Jones had a good offensive line, great receivers, and great coaching, he could be good. I get it. That's fine. But he doesn't have those things, and he doesn't show any signs of being able to carry a team. And I might sound biased, but Jordan Love doesn't have a good offensive line, doesn't have good receivers. He does have better coaching with LaFleur. I get it. But there's no reason in his first year as a starter he should just look night and day better than Mac Jones. Like, it's not even close how much better he looks.
I was telling you guys, I think last night, like, he don't even look like he commands his offense.
Right.
Like, he doesn't look like he's a leader at all.
Yeah,
He
like
kind of looks like he gave up.
Zappy shouldn't be able to come
he's-
in and be a similar player to Mac Jones. It's like what you were saying, like you think Trubisky's going to come in and be just as good, if not better, than Pickett. It shouldn't be like that.
I think that's
I don't think he'll be
problem
better.
with-
I definitely don't
it-
think he'll be better.
To me, I think that's another thing with Fields is he doesn't look like he can control an offense either.
Justin Fields, I hate to say it and like you hate to see it, but he like was bullied in Georgia. That's why he transferred to Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like he don't seem like a guy who can like lead a locker room and
And I
like
think
demand respect.
That's why I think those two dudes are they can't be in the league much longer.
Yeah, like Mac Jones
They'll be in the
or
league.
starters at least.
Yeah, but
Mac Jones is throwing the ball across the field and pick six. Like I don't know. I mean, it is unfair that some of these quarterbacks don't get it. Like Josh Rosen never got a good chance in the NFL to be good. But like if you're good, you're gonna show enough even with a horrible team that like somebody's gonna make a move for you.
Yeah.
I think that's true of elite players. I don't think
That's what I'm saying. Josh
but-
Rosen was drafted to be elite. Mac Jones was drafted to be elite.
Yeah.
They're not 4th and 5th round picks. Like if Purdy came out and wasn't good, nobody would care.
Which was my original argument years
So
ago.
Mac Jones hid behind. He went. Where was it? Alabama.
Right. He didn't even win Heisman.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith did. That's
Yeah.
unheard of.
Which was my original argument, just going back to the Pickett thing, when I had some Steelers fans mad at me. I didn't think he was just going to be bad. I don't see the point in using a first round
you don't
pick
think he's elite.
on
That's
a
my
guy
point.
that's not a game changer.
Yeah.
If you're gonna build the other way, like how the 49ers did and how the Eagles did, and Hurts just ended up being elite, you use those picks on elite players if the quarterback's not available, and then go look for a guy you think you can groom in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th rounds. If you're using a first round pick on a quarterback that does not have the potential to be a game changer, I think you're wasting your
That's
pick.
my point.
Yeah,
And my whole
same.
thing is like last year, Patricia was the play caller, so I definitely gave Mark a pass. I'm like, yeah, this dude's a defensive coach calling plays. But then you went and got Bill O'Brien, who's supposed to be so good. And what is happening? Nothing.
That's why
sucks.
I think as bad as Justin Fields has been, he was a way better pick because he had the potential. It didn't fall. And the thing with fucking Fields is like I feel like I just feel for these guys. Just imagine you're somewhere for 4 years and they do nothing but make the wrong decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're the quarterback, so everything's getting thrown on you.
Yeah.
Fuck that Matt Nagy's a horrible coach. Fuck that Matt Eberflus is a horrible coach. Fuck that Bill Belichick. The game left him behind 5 years ago. Like, you're just everything's thrown at. So I do feel for these guys.
Yeah, but
at least Fields had the potential to be a game changer. He can make all the everything for Fields. It's all in here.
Yeah.
His arm talent is elite. His athleticism is elite. He's not going through his reads fast enough. I don't know if he's just quit on Chicago because I probably would too.
Yeah, but you also got to remember too when you talk about Fields, he was putting high 20s and 30-point games up last year, losing.
Yeah, true.
Last week he just scored 28, up 28-7. Sure, he should have made a few more plays to win.
Yeah.
But they lost.
Yeah.
Like Mac Jones has an elite defense behind him.
He's not won a game where the What was the stat I sent you? I think it was 24
where they
points.
gave up over 20 or 24
yeah,
points.
he has not won a game.
That's
Right? He's like
my
1 in
problem.
13.
Like Justin Fields doesn't have good coaching, doesn't have a good team, doesn't have a good offensive line, but he's put up 30 points because he runs around, he makes a bunch of crazy plays. Mac Jones can't do that. That's my problem.
yeah, I agree.
And I have officially given up on Mac Jones. It is what it is. I know his receivers aren't good. That's just the way it is, though. Everything can't be perfect for you. That's my problem with a lot of people's arguments. Well, who did this team beat? That team sucks. Well, this team don't have good coaches. This team don't have a good offensive line. Too bad. It's hard. It's a 53-man team.
Yeah.
You're going to have weaknesses. The best players are going to figure them out. You think the Chiefs have great fucking receivers right now? No. Patrick Mahomes is just that good. He puts up with the drops and the bad performances. That's just the way the game's played. If you can't do that, you're just not good enough. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, like, I always bring it back to Bills, but Gabe Davis sucked last year. Isaiah McKenzie sucked last year. Offensive line sucked last year.
Yeah, your guys'
Ken
run game
Dorsey
wasn't
was
probably the
new
best.
to the play calling, and we won
I'm
13
starting to warm up
games.
to Ken Dorsey.
You gotta. I mean,
But
I'm
think
not.
about that,
you
though,
you
like,
don't have to
within
say you're
2
wrong because
weeks-
it's only been 3
That's
weeks.
all.
But think
But
about
he's
that,
put up
though.
30. What was it? 38.
37,
37, 38,
48.
48.
When I was like mad at him though, it was, bro, the plays sucked and it was all stemming from last year, and then the week 1 it's the same.
Which is the same
thing.
thing I said
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, but think about that.
So
how
I-
quick you guys panic, and I don't like Dorsey, and I'm worried about the Bills. To now, you guys are sitting up,
Yeah.
shoulder straight up, feeling good.
Yeah.
It shouldn't really be like that. Like
It
I know why
shouldn't.
I mean, I'd probably do it too, but it's like, why do we do that as fans? Like, it shouldn't be a week to. Like, Aaron had all those receipts.
Yeah.
That shit's kind of funny to me.
It is funny.
I mean,
Oh,
yours
said
up there,
nothing
I
bad.
don't think was bad,
Yeah.
but like,
He put me up there because of the disagreement with the Caleb thing. He was being petty. He was being corny. I called him out on his status.
but
for
it's
doing
like
it.
that's really how fans are. Josh Allen sucks. Next week, Josh Allen MVP. Like, that shit's corny.
Yeah, we're dramatic. That's what
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I hate
when I
that
said
shit.
that about Ken Dorsey, it was they were bad last year, and then coming into this year, it was the same thing.
Yeah, but last year's just last year, though.
Yeah, but then when we start the year the same,
I get it.
That's all.
I
like,
do
I never
understand.
said that. I even told Josh not to panic about the
Yeah.
Bills.
Yeah.
It was just I just felt like if Ken Dorsey was gonna, it was run screen punt. That shit was
But
mad annoying.
Last
But
year,
what-
Mac Jones didn't have receivers, and he had a bad play caller. Mark said, "Wait till he gets a good play caller," and I said, "Yeah, let's wait." Now he has Bill O'Brien, and he still isn't. He hasn't changed at all. He still looks bad. So
Yeah.
now you can say, "Well, wait till he gets a number 1 receiver."
Yeah.
Well, you just might not get a number 1 receiver,
Yeah.
so his time's gonna be over.
Yeah, and with just the Ken Dorsey thing, and then we could do our picks because I've been here for a little bit. I'm hungry. Ken Dorsey, like Dable in hindsight was great, right? But he never. I don't think he could have consistently been great with us either because so much of his play calling was based around Josh Allen being the running back, which we've been saying for years. That can't be consistent, and we never ran the ball. And Steve has made the point, well, you have Josh Allen, why run the ball? Because it makes it so much easier for him. Like, it makes it so much easier especially when we only have one elite receiver out there.
And when the weather gets bad.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's always MVP in September, October. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys noticed, this is the 3rd straight year.
Yeah.
When the weather gets bad, it's hard for him to keep that up. I think you need to run the ball.
And especially when you only and Gabe Davis has stepped up a lot, but especially when you only have one elite receiving option, you need just because the quarterback is great and he can handle the full load doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
And I think we didn't have James Cook with Dable or whatever, but like I always thought Singletary was better than people gave him credit for.
I fucking
We
love
never-
our backfield though. I
Yeah,
like
same.
Latavius
I
Murray.
do too.
I like Damian Harris, and I like James.
And you got to
Cook.
use those guys.
Yeah,
and,
it's great.
and it didn't work against the Jets because the Jets.
Somehow the Chiefs beat the Jets with running the ball. That was crazy.
Yeah. The Jets, their defenses looked way better against us than it has against anyone else.
Well, the Chiefs
But they
did.
always,
They look good every week besides against Dallas.
yeah, and the Jets always play us tough. I've looked back over the year; they always play us.
Yeah.
Even when their team sucks, they play us tough. But you see how easy it is for Allen when they have to worry about James Cook, who's coming close to 100 yards from scrimmage every
Yeah,
week.
he's
Like,
looking really good.
like you see when the play breaks down and Diggs isn't open and fucking James Cook is wide open down the sideline. Like, I think Dorsey has done a great job. We need to see it along a season because like you get more of that tape and like maybe this stuff isn't open for him as the season goes on. But outside of that Jets game, like everything's been perfect. Defensive play calling, offensive play calling, everyone's been playing great.
I like McDermott as the defensive.
Yeah,
play
he's
caller.
been fucking. The defense has been unreal.
Well, the way if you looked at going into last week, if you look at the point differential, Miami scored 70 points and they were only beating us by 3
Yeah.
because our defense is so.
And the fact that we did that, like I was saying, up until the Dolphins game, we haven't played a good offense. So let's see how it is, and then we play that offense, and we held them to the least amount of points, right? Like it was 20, 48-20, and the Patriots held them to 24, who also had a really good defense before all these injuries. All right, let's move to the pick'em. Holy fuck! Thursday night is gonna be bad, man. Washington versus.
Go to bed early.
Washington versus Chicago, dude.
I got screwed out of 2 picks last week.
I got screwed out of 1.
Really only ended up being 1 because I stuck with the Browns.
1,
You'd be first by 1, yeah.
All right, Washington.
That's all right. I'll beat you by 2 this week.
Nah, you lost this week.
Washington
I
for
felt
sure.
bad for you guys. I was making stupid picks last week. I took Green Bay and shit, even though you guys did too.
Yeah, definitely Washington.
It's a horrible Thursday night game.
It's gonna be really bad.
The first bad one this year, I think.
Yeah, it's like
They've
I
all
might
been
not
good
go out
this
for
year.
that one. I might just stay home.
The
and
Monday
watch
night
baseball
games
or
have
some shit.
honestly been pretty
Man.
bad. This game actually, there is a way that this game can be good, and it's if the coaching is finally like, all right, Justin, run again, and like they do what they did last year and they start running, and then Howell's been fun at times. So there's a way this can be fun, but it's probably gonna suck. I don't know. They don't have enough time to call up play calls, so they just let Justin Fields just fucking.
Yeah, just do some shit.
I don't know. All right, Buffalo, Jacksonville. I'm going Buffalo. Jacksonville offense has looked awful. Our defense has looked great. I said offense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, yeah, I like Buffalo too. I mean, I do like that Jacksonville's already in London. And, like, it's a huge game for them. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys lost, but I definitely like a hangover game.
Yeah.
Like you're all high off these blowouts and think you're going to have a little vacation in London, but I
Travel,
think the Bills-
too.
Yeah,
I like to think that we've learned from having these games over the past 3 years, the hangover games, and we're gonna take it seriously. I think. Shout out Dylan. Love Dylan, love Nola, but they picked the only 9 o'clock game all year to get baptized.
Yep.
So I'm gonna miss that game.
Wait, what game you missing?
The Bills game.
You're missing that shit?
My niece, cousin is getting baptized.
I would tell them maybe next
Take
time.
a recording or something.
Yeah.
Well, they might be playing it at
families
the
don't
baptism. They might set a TV up.
That's one thing I do respect. Shout out my family. They don't do birthday parties and shit on Sundays, and if they do, they
Well, you
invite
have to
me
do
and
a
know that
baptism on Sunday.
they don't expect me to be there. Well, they would never do it when the Packers were on at 9:30. So shout out my family again.
Football family.
I definitely.
my family's so big they know that shit. Like, oh, Green Bay's on at 9:30, you ain't getting
Yeah,
baptized.
here you go.
Unless they don't want me there, and I respect that too, because I'm not missing the Packers game. Don't die when the Packers are on.
That's wild.
Don't have a birthday when the Packers are on. Christmas and we play on Thanksgiving. I'll see you later. Like, I'll go to dinner after the game.
Send
You're
the
a wild
presents
boy.
over.
Yeah, Christmas last year. Sorry, not happening. But all right. I hope you have fun though.
This is my theory of what happened, because I know they wouldn't purposely do it. I feel like they were like, I don't know how you schedule baptism. I don't have any kids, but I have a feeling like they're like talking to the church, and they're like, yeah, and they're like, oh, all these Sundays are filled up.
Yeah, that probably
And
was.
they're like, we have the 13th?
It's the 8th.
8th, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
13th is next Friday. I was thinking Mark's birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, we have the 8th open. Oh, really? Awesome.
I can see Dylan saying, "Fuck."
He probably didn't even know. It probably like I didn't register with me until yesterday.
Oh, as soon as he texts, I'm like, "Oh man."
It's my
The
friend's
timing.
birthday. They're getting a good bar right at 9. They got the projector up, like 30 TVs. I was mad excited. I was about to be waiting at the door, and then my dad was like, "Nola's getting baptized," and it's Catholic. That's the thing. It's gonna be. We have to go for mass and shit.
Yeah.
I don't care about
You
church.
do?
I just care about Nola. I could have just
Yeah.
showed up at 10, watched the baptism. 30 minutes later, I'm out. But no, we gotta sit through. We gotta kneel and shit. I gotta watch all
You
this.
got Neil.
I hate Catholic Church because they make you feel like a piece of garbage. When they're like, everyone come in and get the sacrament except for you guys. Like, have you ever been to Catholic Church? If you're not, whatever,
I have
you have to
been.
go through those steps to like get inducted or whatever. And if you haven't done that, you can't go up and like get the body of Christ and shit.
That's not true.
That's wild.
I've been to Catholic church and
You're
I
not
wasn't.
supposed to.
Well, I did.
You're not supposed to. I did it on accident.
Dude.
I was at a funeral one time and didn't
We go
hear, and I
more.
just saw everyone walking up there, and I went, and I didn't. You're supposed to do shit, and I didn't know what to do. He's like, "You haven't been. What the fuck's it called?" They have like a special word for like the induction into the cult. Hate Catholics.
Man, give me the Colts, man.
You didn't even let me say Washington or the Bills. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
you skipped over
Yeah,
Joe
twice.
twice for
I
both.
was
I
gonna
thought they
say
were
something.
obvious picks.
What does that mean? You guys could just say it and I have to sit
Oh,
here
you're
and
real
be
quiet today.
Yeah, I've been talking.
You like to wait for us to make our picks and shit. Go ahead. Make a pick.
Colts.
I'll take the Colts, man.
There we go.
Yeah, I'll take the Colts.
I think the Titans stink.
The one thing though is
Yeah.
that their run defense is their like strength, and like the Colts kind of relied on the run game last week. I don't know.
Yeah, but if JT back?
He's practicing this
Like, I
week,
mean,
they're saying.
having JT and Richardson in the backfield, that's just going to be scary for people.
I hope he plays. Atlanta, Houston. I'm taking Houston, man.
I went Houston too.
Shout out Atlanta.
You're taking Atlanta. I hope they win
Dirty
for my
bird.
division
Atlanta, boy.
prospects, but Detroit's gonna annihilate Carolina.
Yeah, I think the things they're going to do to them. If that four-man rush gets to Young the way he got to Jordan Love, oh, my God.
The spread was like 8.5 on that game.
Yeah, it's low to me. I think they're going to beat him by like fucking 3 or 4 scores. Who you taking?
Oh, no, we're gonna, Detroit.
The first good game of the week. Hopefully, oh no, Trubisky's playing.
Yeah,
I'm
that's my
gonna
first.
go. I'm gonna go
I'm
Baltimore.
going Baltimore.
I'm also going
I
Baltimore.
just can't see Trubisky putting up enough points, but they do play well against Lamar. It's weird,
Yeah, Zay Flowers.
And they just
the
got
homeboy.
they just coming off a bad loss too.
but I hate Trubisky, so I'll never
but
pick
too.
him.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I
throw the
I
ball
like
Pickens.
I like
Fucking
Baltimore.
stinks.
New England, New Orleans.
I'm gonna go New Orleans.
Going to Orleans.
New Orleans.
You guys know I hate New England this year. Not hate them. I just think that they stink.
Oh, I gotta bring this up too. I'm gonna have to pay this dude Joe $50 because Alvin Kamara has 125 catches and 300 yards. It's so corny.
What was the
He had 13.
So what, we had
He
100?
had 20 points, no touchdowns.
his game was.
Yeah, when I
70
seen it, I'm like, oh shit, he's back.
This shit is so corny.
Yo, listen to
bro.
me though. You hear me
So
out.
Saints
corny.
to lead in games. The problem is they were losing, and Carr's playing with an injury. That's all he really felt like.
If I lose because I'm wrong, fine. But
I mean, you're wrong.
But that is being
He
wrong because that's part
sucks.
of Kamara's like.
It
arsenal.
is,
It's-
but
like
my-
Eckler sucks if you're going off of like that. All that dude does is catch 5-yard
yeah,
passes.
but he's efficient. He
Yo,
gets
it's crazy.
yards per
Last
carry.
year he liked
Yeah.
the Saints though. You know what I just
I
thought of?
did-
You
I
loved
did
the
too.
Saints
I did
last
too.
year.
I know because I thought Jameis was gonna start.
And I took 2 Saints players against whatever against
That
9
is
other
awesome.
non-Saints players and Garrett Wilson.
That is hilarious.
And I'm about to win both them shits.
Olave did nothing last week.
That's
Yeah,
true.
one catch.
You might be winning actually.
No, but the thing is my argument for Kamara was lost efficiency every year. He's 28, and he was not efficient at all, but still got 20 points. Whatever.
Dolphins by a
Yeah,
million.
Dolphins by 1,000 points. The Giants are fucking
Yeah, Miami's gonna bounce
garbage.
back.
Start their defense if you have.
Yeah.
Seriously, start whoever plays
Start
the
all
Giants.
3 of their running backs. All their receivers.
That's gonna be a blowout. Rams, Philly.
I'm going Philly. Rams are playing well. I could see them winning, but I
I didn't know
like
if
Eagles.
Cup's back, man.
Philly's
Cup or no cup.
Philly's been really up and down, but I feel like they really got it going in that fourth quarter. Maybe they figured some shit out. Their offensive line hasn't looked great either, which has been really weird.
Isn't as good as it looked, and their secondary looks bad, but they're still just 4-0. And they dominated Tampa, who's looked good every other game.
That's the only
I'm
team
taking the
they
Rams.
dominated, though.
They dominated New England until it was a weird ass second half.
But that's half the game.
And I was like, I don't know how to explain it though.
I'm
It's
taking
one
the
of those
Rams.
6 games, man.
I'm taking the Rams.
Rams.
Yeah.
We got
Dude,
one on
I'm
that.
dude, I'm very close.
Go over there.
Puka's gonna rip them dudes
Yeah,
to
he is.
shreds.
And Cup's back. So might as well go over there. Marshall Falk's playing. The greatest show on turf.
Might as well be.
Damn, dude, this is a tough one.
Don't be scared. You're gonna beat by 2 this week.
I'm gonna go to the Rams.
Thank God. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Cincinnati, Arizona. Cincinnati's
Yeah,
gotta
just go
win,
with Cincy.
dude.
If they lose, then they suck.
Then they're dead.
Yeah,
This is gonna
this
be
is a must-win game.
It's gonna be another awful game. Jets, Broncos.
Shit's easy to me.
Jets, Jets.
Yeah.
Their defense should dominate, and I
Zach
think
Wilson might
gonna
do cook,
Yeah,
man.
they're gonna be able to. And Denver's rush defense is pathetic.
Nathaniel Hackett, revenge game.
Yeah,
That's true.
Sean
They're
Payton
gonna
was
put up
talking that
70.
shit.
They're gonna put up 70
and
on them.
Denver's 32nd against fantasy running backs. I think Cook and Hall are gonna be able to do some shit. Hall tore his ACL in this game last year, though. I'm scared for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 3 yards away from my money. Kansas City, Minnesota.
Yeah,
Kansas
Mahomes is
City.
throwing 4 or 5 of those things this week.
Yeah, Tank, you might win
It's
this
the
week.
Netflix quarterback matchup.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna cancel Kirk, so
Yeah,
They're gonna edit
Kirk's
it.
gonna make some plays.
they're
though.
gonna edit out all of Kirk's fucking scenes because of how bad
That's
Mahomes gonna do that team.
41-24 game.
Dallas, San Fran.
I like Dallas.
I
I'm
like
gonna go
Dallas,
San
too.
Fran though.
I like Dallas too.
Dude, I want to take Dallas
I want to
so
take
bad.
Dallas, but I think Dak's just not good.
Dude, the spread's 3.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, it's the two probably best teams.
I can't get
Two of the
myself
three
to go
best
Dallas.
teams.
I feel like whoever was at home would be -3.
Yeah.
I want to go Dallas so bad.
San Fran just looks unstoppable, man. How do you stop? How do you beat them? And even like you said, like Kittle's probably gonna be blocking all the time. Like if there's one group that's gonna shut down Parsons, like him and, like Kittle, like then I don't know. I'm gonna take San Fran. Is
McCaffrey no touchdown this week? That's my
that's
guess.
your bet?
I'm not gonna bet it, but I just think on Sunday Night Football the world's gonna be out of Dallas's rush defense is crazy. I don't know. I think they're gonna take them down.
What's he got, like 13 through 4 games or something? I'm just clowning.
No, I wish
he
he
has a
did.
lot,
I bet him to lead the NFL in rushing touchdowns.
He's
and
got to be.
He might be tied or he's not up by a
Kyron
lot.
Williams is up there because
Yeah,
He had 4
he
yesterday.
had 3. Yeah, he caught one.
Oh, he caught one.
He does have a lot of touchdowns, though. He scored
Yeah.
every game.
And then Green Bay, Vegas. Who's what's his name starting for Vegas?
He's still got to pass the.
I don't think it
concussion
matters,
protocol.
to be honest with you.
So if Garoppolo, it's Green Bay by 6. If Aiden O'Connell, it's Green Bay by 14.
Yeah, if Garoppolo plays, I'm worried. If Garoppolo doesn't play, we'll win.
Devontae Adams revenge game, I guess. So let me ask you this. Well, yeah, you make your pick, Joe, because
I want Green Bay
I'm in
too.
a conundrum. Do I start Watson or I start Dobbs, dude? I feel like Watson
You're
is
on the same team.
Yeah.
Oh, that's annoying.
Like I feel like by far, I feel like Watson's more talented, but Jordan Love just loves Dobbs. But I have a feeling it's like last game was just getting the rust off of Watson, and then I'm gonna sit Watson and he's gonna have like 200 yards.
Watson scored last game.
He did, but if he didn't score, he would have like 3 fantasy points. It was rough. I think I'm gonna start Dobbs. Thanks for being a lot of help, Harry.
He ain't telling him.
I'm trying to think, man. I do think Watson's gonna
Start Jaden Reed.
I think Dobbs is the safer option.
Yeah.
I just think he gets open more. I think Love really trusts him. But then Watson can get you like 4 for 96 and 2 or 3 touchdowns. So if you want upside, I'm going Watson. But if you want safe, I would go Dobbs.
I kind of have to be safe. I'm 1-3 in this league.
So shouldn't you go Watson? If you're 1-3?
No, I'm playing Danny. I need safe points. The only way for me to lose to Danny is like I start watching.
I
He
just
gets a
beat Danny,
0, and
and
then I
I'm
lose by
taking-
2 points.
Are you talking about in your league? Yeah. I just beat him and I'm taking.
I'm gonna miss the playoffs because I had to play Jordan, Noah, Jordan, my dad, and Donnie
I played
twice.
that this week.
6 games between the top 3 teams in the league. All right, yeah, my tiebreaker. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 24-13. I'll say 37 points.
I did 44.
Green Bay.
I did 45.
All right, cool. Picks are in. They lock tomorrow, boys. If you're gonna make a change,
I thought Thursday.
I keep thinking today's Wednesday. They lock on Thursday. If you're gonna make a change, you gotta let us know. That's it. Anything
I tried
else?
to on Friday. It was already locked. Nah, that's it.
Basketball will be back soon.
All right, peace.
Next week.
You gonna talk about the trade?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Boom.
What's the trade?
The
Lillard.
I didn't
Damon
see the
called-
trade. I'm not in the league.
Damon
We should have
called
did
and
that during
said that.
fantasy.
Damon called and wanted us to
Oh,
talk
I was
about
talking.
this
I
trade.
was talking NBA. But
Oh, the Lillard trade. Duh.
I forgot about that.
Well, me too. And then Drew.
we forgot
Oh, we're
to talk
to be
about it
here for a
yesterday
while,
too.
man.
Oh, fuck.
I'm just kidding. We can go. We got
Just a
time.
quick recap. We got a couple weeks to the
All right, so Lillard to the Bucks. Not where he wanted to go, but probably a better place for him. Portland said, "Fuck what you want. We're building a whole team through your ass." They got DeAndre Ayton. They gave up Nurkic too,
Yeah, they gave him Nurkic, Keon Johnson, Little, and Lillard.
and they got DeAndre Ayton. Boom. Why am I blanking? They got Drew Holiday, who they then traded for what?
Malcolm Brogdon and
Mo-
Robert Williams in the first.
Yeah. That's
was the
that
best
potentially
trade they
might be a better haul for
Yeah.
Drew Holiday than
Yeah.
Lillard.
That was a better
So
trade.
essentially for Lillard and Nurk, they got Robert Williams,
Well, and
Ayton,
Keon Johnson and Little.
and Keon Johnson and Little. But they got Robert Williams, Brogdon, Ayton, and 3 firsts.
And
And
some
2
other
swaps.
weird name guy that I've never heard of.
And they have the pick swaps too, which could be huge by 2029 or whenever.
Yeah. And then I think Phoenix low key is a winner too. Like
Yeah,
they
made
got a
out
lot.
with that shit, man.
They got a lot of good role
They
players.
got a much better player for their team in Nurkic, and they got Grayson Allen off the bench is crazy.
Yeah, and Keon Johnson too.
Yeah.
And
Not
Little
terrible.
looked good last year.
Yeah, they
They
needed.
needed the depth, and they needed somebody tougher down low. to worry about rebounds and not crying and worry about how many points he's going to score. So that was a big upgrade for them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it was huge for Phoenix. I think this trade kind of sets up like a Phoenix
Bucks rematch.
Bucks rematch.
But Boston getting Drew is
just
crazy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that they lost Smart, which was a good trade on face value. But my worry was, okay, now who's gonna play your perimeter defense?
Yeah, because you got Porzingis, which was awesome,
But now you get an even better perimeter defender, arguably, in Drew.
and a much better offensive player too. It's
Yeah.
like even if he's
Even
not,
if
we were
Smart's
talking about this last
yeah.
night. Even if Smart was a little bit better defensively, Drew's just a much better overall player, in my opinion.
The one thing is, though, Brogdon was really good on defense last year too, and
Brogdon had some injuries or some heart
Yeah.
issue or something too going on. I forget.
He was looking to be 6 man of the year.
There's a
wasn't he?
reason why.
I was about to say, I think he was in the running.
he was.
There's a reason why Memphis wanted Smart and not Brogdon. He has something going on. You guys would have to look it up.
But yeah, so I mean, really big trade. Kind of rushed through it, but it doesn't matter until the season starts.
Yeah,
to
we'll
be
be
completely
focused
honest.
on it a lot.
I'm happy for Portland.
Just real quick, do you think? So, the Bucks, what is it going to be? Fucking Lillard,
Chris Middleton.
Middleton will probably be the small forward though.
The two would probably be like Connington.
Yeah.
They got Beasley.
Portis.
Oh, they have Malik Beasley too.
Yeah, off the bench, yeah.
Fuck.
Portis, Giannis.
Portis, I think,
Brooke
goes off the
Lopez.
bench.
Oh, Brooke Lopez, Giannis.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
still have a pretty complete team. They're not real too thin. They're not that thin.
They didn't really
yeah.
lose anyone.
They lost Allen was big.
And Drew, obviously.
Yeah, well, they got Lillard, so I
Yeah,
don't
it
think they
was-
lost him. But they losing Allen, they'll miss that. But that's not nothing that's gonna like.
Their
upset
defense
them.
might be a little suspect on the perimeter.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
But their offense is going to go crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna
When
be.
Giannis
Boston.
was hurt or doubled and triple team, Drew just couldn't do enough.
Yeah,
And Middleton isn't the same player that he was. So they needed to. This was good for them.
it's huge for Lillard too. I would much rather play with Giannis than Jimmy Butler because
Yeah.
they
Jimmy
can
Butler
play.
got a nice perm and shit going.
Dude, he's the biggest troll in the league.
He is.
It's
That's so
crazy.
awesome.
He was dead ass.
Emo Jimmy.
All right, I think that's it.
They had like an emo song playing when he was. It was funny as fuck, man.
Sorry,
Yeah, it was something like-
can't be perfect.
All right, peace.
Chat Nerd Sports Podcast. Thank you. Listen everywhere. Thank you, Tank, for producing. Tank
Yeah.
Talk,
Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
TikTok, all that good stuff. Go follow them, but more importantly, follow us. Thank you, guys. Peace.